The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey.
What?
Let's go.
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for.
McAfee on the line with a gorgeous assist.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers.
You ping.
Damn it! Your friend tell a friend something nice could change their life. Hello, beautiful people. And welcome to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this Hard Edge Thursday, August 28th, 2025. This program begins now. Football is happening tonight. College football week 1 officially kicks off, and we got a couple big ones. 5:30 this thing starts on ESPN as Boise State takes on USF. And then at 9 o'clock Eastern time, Nebraska takes on Cincinnati in Kansas City at Arrowhead. Will Travis Kelce be there?
Ooh.
He went to Cincinnati. He plays at Arrowhead. That's his home. If Travis Kelce's there...
No
way.
We're
not getting that far ahead of ourselves.
For college?
Let's not get that far. For ball.
Come on.
For ball.
Yeah, good
For
point.
the good of ball.
For Travis, they're engaged.
But they are engaged. Have been for a few weeks. Said
Hey, honey, you want to go see a ball game tonight?
Why not? Hey, 2 colleges coming to town.
What do you got going on?
I assume Arrowhead's going to be electrifying. We saw the process of it transferring from the Chiefs' home stadium to the Cincinnati, Nebraska host. And at one point, the paint on the end zone looked as if Nebraska was really getting sandbagged. And we should have known that wasn't the case. It was obviously a process. The stadium's going to look beautiful. And tonight, obviously, college football week 1 kicks off in a huge way. That'll lead into a massive weekend of college ball. I mean, you're talking massive matchups early. No cupcakes, I believe, is how it's being described by Nike. I think I think there is like a little bit of a run there where it's like, hey, now college ball, they're being incentivized to play these big high-profile matchups early with the new setup of the college football playoff. There is a strength of record, strength of win, strength of loss, when did you lose type factor that's going to be added back into the conversation of who makes it a college football playoff. So look for a lot of these big teams, these high brands, these high-profile operations to be colliding on a much more regular basis, which is great for college ball. Now, does it help them financially to be in these big games? Of course. Does it help them as a brand to be spotlighted every single weekend? Of course. But does it help football as a whole? Definitely. Mm-hmm. Yep. We got Texas and Ohio State kicking off at noon on Saturday.
Come on.
Are you not only a rematch of the college football playoffs final and everything like that, but you're talking about Arch Manning, Heisman favorite, his first official start as the guy. Now, I know he played last year, but as the guy that Sark has built this entire offense around. What are his capabilities versus what Quinn Ewers' capabilities were? Let Sarkisian's brain kind of operate with that. He's been in No Manning's been doing that in the past. No. Matt Patricia, defensive coordinator for Ohio State, has now had to prepare for 3 different Mannings. He was obviously with the Patriots. He took on Peyton. He took on Eli. Now he's got the most athletic one that he's ever seen. This guy's tall. He moves. He's seemingly built for the moment. How will he and Texas look this year versus how they looked last year? And on the other side, Ohio State's reigning champs. Coach Ryan Day's got a bunch of dogs, and that Horseshoe Stadium is going to be electrifying. What a beautiful way to kick off this beautiful sport that is college ball. And then obviously 9 versus 4, 6 versus 10 in an old school rivalry. You know, the Catholics versus the
convicts.
That is a documentary.
It is.
And I FaceTimed a notable Notre Damer yesterday, and he was actually watching that documentary getting fired up for the week.
Okay,
Yeah,
love it.
that.
Caught him mid-watching the documentary.
Love it.
It was just random. What was yesterday? Wednesday.
Yeah.
Today's Thursday.
Wednesday. Today is Thursday. Tomorrow is Friday.
Boom. That's right.
Tomorrow is and then this. And then
The other game.
So not that many sleeps away.
No.
From this.
Yeah.
Which is exciting news. Yeah, FaceTime, random Notre Dame fan, very famous fan.
Sure.
I think I saw him wearing another school shirt.
What?
No.
While viewing the doc?
Army or Navy?
Now in a commercial. I think I saw.
A couple Longhorns on that shirt?
I think I saw that.
Okay.
I think,
That was
That's
weird,
interesting.
wasn't it?
Acting. So,
Yeah,
you're right.
Acting, you got to do what you got to do. But FaceTimed, Shane, yep. FaceTime Shane, obviously. And him and his group are taking over everything, as they should. Actual genius. And whenever you talk about a guy who is massive Ball fan and massive Notre Dame fan, I FaceTimed him yesterday. Random answer, shout out, answer, a very busy person. And I'm like, what are you doing? And he's like, Catholics versus convicts, dude. And it was literally, it was paused, like the meme, where he shows his phone. Yeah, it was literally turned to that. I'm like, you're just watching it? He goes, yeah, I'm getting jacked up for this weekend. This is a big one. And then he went in to break down the entire game. I won't give away what his breakdown was, but the Notre Dame fans and faithful, I think, are riding a high from last year. And what this modern world is about to be for Notre Dame. They have all the money. Okay, they're never going to fall out into a position where they're not keeping up financially with anybody else. The fact that they're an independent operation, they collect more money than anybody else whenever they're successful. And Marcus Freeman is a dog. He is awesome. He's seemingly the perfect coach for this time, this era, and definitely this school. As he is a Catholic, I think he has 100 kids. Okay, so he is like the perfect coach for the perfect time for them. And it's like, it's only just the tip of the iceberg for what this college football season is going to be. And boy, we are just a couple sleeps away from that.
I know.
Yeah.
I cannot wait. Tomorrow, I will be live in Columbus, Ohio, alongside AJ Hawk. We'll also have Will Howard, Vince Young. I think Coach is going to stop by.
Okay.
What coach?
I don't want to publicly put him on the spot like that, though.
One of them.
Lou?
Putting them both on the spot.
Coach Lou?
Coach Lou will not be there.
Okay.
Coach Lou will not be there. I think we've seen enough of Coach.
Yeah, I think we can put that one to bed. Between those two guys.
Was it the other day or was it old?
I
We
think.
butter that bread all we can.
Yeah. And we understand.
Yeah, it was a good run.
And we never heard anything from the other side saying don't do it. This is just us personally acknowledging a situation.
Sure.
Coach Ryan was really good to us. Remember, he let us in the building.
He did. Mm-hmm.
Did the entire thing. And also, just chatted with him the other day. What's going on? Like, what are we doing?
We're cool.
I can't wait to get to his campus, though. What they did last year during that playoff run was outrageous. If they're able to bottle that somehow, new quarterback, a lot of new players, still got Jeremiah Smith, still got Caleb Downs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, so those two best players on the field, offense and defense, when they're out there, and they're just only getting better and stronger. Carnell Tate's still there, the wide receiver. He gets lost in the entire conversation. And then who's the tight end they got from Purdue?
Max Clare.
Yeah, so nobody saw him at Purdue because Purdue's Purdue.
Yeah.
And that's something, but you watch the highlights of this guy, he's seemingly 6'5", 6'6", and moves and is built exactly like an NFL tight end. Now he's on Ohio State. So get used to hearing this guy's name. We all think.
WVU kid, too.
Yeah, I think this guy, the running back, CJ Donaldson, he's a great running back. Would probably be an All-American if we had to guess.
He's amazing at West Virginia when they had all those draft picks on the O-line.
Yeah, unbelievable. And should have stuck around,
Yeah.
New day.
That's true.
Yeah, congrats to him, though. He's certainly earned whatever the paycheck is. And quarterback saying this kid can spin it. So it's a weekend that's going to be packed with great ball, and we're lucky to be a part of it, and we're also pumped that it's beginning. It's real football time. Let's go to the talks table at Boston Connor, at Ty Schmidt. We kind of got the two tails, little polar wolves on your chest. Is that kind of off-season, regular season, football season meeting today, like kind of clashing in the middle? That's where you're at? What is the messaging behind it?
Honestly, I don't know if there is any messaging today. This is just long sleeve, 50 degrees in the morning. It's amazing. It's football weather.
So
long
good.
sleeves being
So
back
good,
is fantastic. Maybe it is kind of the split, the good and the bad that comes with football, but we're not going to talk about any of the bad, just the good. The amount of Irish Catholics that have been bopping their baloney about this quarterback for Notre Dame for the past 5 years, I'm excited for that to finally happen because I'm sick of hearing about it. I'll be completely honest. Most people in mass are Notre Dame fans because it's Irish Catholic and college sports, BC and all that. They just aren't really relevant in the city itself as a sports team. I can't wait for the Notre Dame game just to see CJ Carr hopefully be the guy and maybe Carl Beck. He comes in and the U is still the U and they're good again.
Yeah, Carson Beck got paid a lot of money. We all reported on that and talked about that. And we don't know exactly what the number was. There were some absurd numbers being talked about, and then there were some other absurd numbers that were just a little bit lower. But obviously, he's earned it. National champ. You can do whatever you want to do. His ending at Georgia didn't seem like there was a lot of people pissed that he ended up going to Miami. I think they understood what the current market is. But what if he's a guy? You know, what if he's a guy down there in Miami? Cam Ward, appearing every day. Now, we haven't seen him play a single down of actual NFL football yet, but appearing every single day as being a legit leader and a guy that was an igniter for an entire university, an entire program. Will Carson Beck be able to do the same damn thing? And will that project him to be a number 1 overall pick like it did for Cam Ward? We shall see. So many storylines to develop over the next 20 weeks or whatever it is. I mean, there's just so much ball.
I mean, it is seriously the greatest time of year. Like, we talk about how the best weekend is like Super Wild Card weekend and stuff like that, but this is like, it's almost like a Christmas Eve, but Christmas lasts for 3 months.
Yeah, it is good.
Bingo.
It is good. It was like before the first day of school.
Yeah, boom.
I was brushing my teeth this morning. I was like, oh,
Wait a minute.
there's a little something humming. I do smell that.
You had your outfit hang that. You picked out your outfit last night.
This morning, actually, another early morning for me.
Yeah.
So,
Wow. Hey,
2 days in a row.
come on now. Go.
2 days in a row. 2 days. I was up late too, working on my computer.
Sure.
Yep.
You know, I was.
What'd you do?
I was, and I did it. I think I did it. But woke up early, picked out the outfit for game day. You know, because we're back into wearing a sport coat.
Yeah, that's right.
Only time in my life that happens.
Yep.
Literally the only time in my life that it happens. Shout out to David Allen. You know, this is the time of year where I remember David Allen's a guy. He is the dog. And I go into my closet and I open it and I just go, what am I? Oh, no, I got nothing. And then I open up a sleeve or something. It's David Allen basically right there. And I'm like, my dude, thank you so much. I'm going to take this from 3 years ago from David Allen. And I'm going to put this in the ball, and I'm going to take it. But, yeah, it was, like, exciting this morning. It really was. There is, like, an electricity in the air, especially because these games tonight are a big deal. Boise State looking to dance every single year. Nebraska, 3rd year with Matt Rule. Are they going to be able to go on a run in a conference that's going to get a lot of say in who ends up in a college football playoff? Why not some of these teams that are playing tonight, AP Tone?
Yeah, we've talked a lot about the big games, the big 3, the top 10 matchups, but, like, there are so many other games this weekend, especially tonight, that mean something. Like, Boise is the odds-on and, like, big favorite to make the college football playoff again out of the group of 5. And they got to travel all the way down to Florida. Yes, it feels good here, but I checked. It's still hot in Florida. Like, they got to go all the way down to USF. A USF team that 2 years ago almost, you know, that was the game where Saban couldn't figure out who his quarterback was, and USF almost beat Bama. Like,
they always have speed, it feels like. We used to play them, Big East. They were in Big East for a little bit. And that was when Levitt was their coach. In the news recently. When they were down there, they always had speed, like very, very fast. In our team, we used to be able to just beat everybody. Speed would potentially kind of affect us a little bit on the zone spread shit that we were running or whatever. So they always gave us a tough matchup. We're not the only ones. USF has historically been able to match up with people. It's just like it doesn't really get talked about much because it's USF. But they can be a problem for you. And they could derail an entire season for Boise State.
Boise could go from the odds-on favorite to make the playoff out of the group of 5 to you lose USF week 1. Like, that's a hill you got to climb the rest of the season. And then Nebraska, like both these games, 5.5, 6.5. Those are not like, oh, they're definitely going to win this game. Nebraska loses to Cincy week 1. Like, their playoff hopes, which they do, they all think they're going to make it this year. Like, both of these favorites potentially lose tonight on short spreads. Like, that just sends the whole thing into chaos already.
Yeah, and that's what college football is.
That's right.
It's chaos. It's absolute chaos. Last season was epic.
It was the best.
Cannot wait for this one. For all of the negative, and we bring this up a lot because I think it has to, for all the negative that has kind of surrounded the sport, all the conversation and the worry. And I understand that there has been a lot of history between this sport and its fans. The sport and Dr. Pepper. I mean, Dr. Pepper has literally been sponsored, I think, 88 years alongside college football. But their fans are very loyal. And it's like my father, my father's father, and my father's father's father all sat in this seat. We tailgated this way. We cheered for these guys. This is how we did it. So any change to something that has that much history and that much pageantry and that much tradition is going to scare the shit out of some people. And some people, when they get scared, just automatically go, I don't like it. And then they start to attack it. Understood, valid, completely understand where you're coming because everybody's worried that something that they love is going to lose the thing about it that they love so much. But I think what college football has become more electrifying. Like, I think it has become more exciting. Just as ball fan, NFL fan, football fan, college football fan, I think the games, the matchups, teams coming out of nowhere. Vanderbilt story last year, insane. Diego Pavia. How about the moment that they got to have as college, as university, as a student section? They got to carry a fucking upright all the way down Broadway into a river because their football team won a game. It's like these are magical moments that are being created, and I think that's why college football fans are such big fans of the sport because it can only happen in those type of environments. Those aren't going anywhere. I don't think those are ever going anywhere. And I think the matchups are only going to get bigger. And I think teams are going to get better. I think all is going well when it comes to the product on the field, in my eyes.
No, yeah. I mean, I agree. I think you could argue, and it's hard because it was the first year of the playoff, and, like that just added a completely new element. But I think the product on the field last year was as good as it's ever been. Like, we got so many good games week in, week out. And if you can get over the whole, transfer portal stuff and it being kind of hard to get grips on who's where, the first several weeks of the season, it's like, oh, I thought this guy played for, this team, but no, he's at this place this year. Like, there's a lot of that, but when it actually gets down to, like, the game itself, I don't think college football has ever been as good as it is right now with as many good players as we have right now.
Yeah, every once in a while, when you pay people, they get better.
Yes.
Think about the kids that have committed on this show. Like, they're professionals already.
I would like to thank my strength coach,
What?
my dietitian,
What?
my nutritionist,
What?
my chef,
What?
my massage therapist,
What?
my technique coach,
What?
obviously mom and dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and our Lord and Savior.
They
Don't
do,
forget
yeah,
our
Lord and Savior too. Jesus Christ, thank you so much for letting me dip and rip like this. I've been working, but they're professionals since they're teenagers, and obviously we'll see long-term effects of this.
Yeah.
Child stars and everything like that. Is it because of the spotlight? Is it because the people that are around, or is it because they're forced to be adults a lot earlier than everybody else? The athletes are kind of having that experience right now. They're being forced to being adults earlier than everybody else. We'll find out what the long-term effects are, but I think what the NFL people are saying is we see much more mature guys coming in the league. These guys already know their shit. We already know if they're going to be able to work and handle money. We already know how they're going to operate, how their family's going to operate. That used to have to happen the first couple years in the NFL. Now it's happening in like high school for these guys.
Yeah.
They're kind of going through money for the first time, which is a whirlwind of emotions and situations and everything. Relationships, how you operate, what you can do, what you can't do. First time I got money, it was crazy. It was just like you feel the weight of the world to want to help everybody that has helped you. And it's like all of a sudden then you got a lot of people telling you, well, don't do that. It's like, well, how am I supposed to look these people in the eye when they know that I can definitely help in this situation? And they've certainly helped me. How am I supposed? So you get caught in these conflicting situations when you become the person who has certainly the most amount of money out of the people that you've been around your entire life. There's a lot of shit that comes alongside of that. And a lot of these guys are experiencing it now in high school. They're experiencing it in college. So by the time they get to the NFL, all those conflicting emotions and shit that is kind of thrown on your plate out of nowhere is already behind them. It's like, I think that's good for quality of game. NFL is going to benefit from this big time.
For sure.
Scouting, finding out who the right people are, definitely going to win in this. College, though, is going to have to deal. There's going to be more of that shit that's going to have to happen just kind of naturally. And I'll be excited to see how we kind of weave through that.
Yeah, even like when you think about the athletes, you would assume that most people who, might be between a couple sports, like a lot of great NFL players or great NBA players, but with the amount of money that's in the NIL for college football, and there's a bunch in college basketball too, but there's more in college football. Obviously, there's more teams, there's more, high-end programs that can pay you a bunch of money. So you might think like, oh, shoot, college football will continue to get these better athletes because they might lean to the NFL.
Maybe these 6'7" guys will put on some weight and be tackles as opposed to,
Yeah, but
being on ball.
Yeah, the bad side of it, to your point, like what was his name, the quarterback, Marinovich, where his
Todd Marinovich,
where there's the 30 for 30 on him. And he was born to be an NFL. His dad created him to be an NFL QB, and he was. But then he hated football as soon as he got to the NFL.
So on the flip side, I would say Peyton and Eli were created to be NFL quarterbacks, and all they want to do is give back to the game their entire life. So you never know. Like humans are so interesting, and this whole getting rich as teenagers in sports thing is awesome, I think, for the guys. But what are the joining us now? I would like to see this dude as a teenager get handed a bunch of money. What he would have done.
Sure,
5-star.
Oh my God, those teeth would have got fixed so much like that. It would have been no problem at all. Ladies and gentlemen, host of Bussin' with the Boys, founder of Bussin' with the Boys, also has a dad podcast because he is a incredibly proud father. Obviously, he got ripped off of year 10, I believe, by the NFL. Supposed to be a 10-year NFL vet. Nobody would have expected that whenever he was coming out of Nebraska. Ladies and gentlemen, absolute dog, Will Compton. How you doing, dude?
Pat, thank you for the introduction. Boys, it's great to be here. It's game day. We made it.
Yes, we did. We did. That is the overwhelming sense that we have over here as well. This morning, brushing teeth just felt a little different. Like, we got actual ball here. Now, I couldn't even imagine West Virginia playing tonight would have that would be a perfect way to kind of launch this. I assume you're very excited. Year 3 for Rule. There's a chance here for Nebraska to go on a run. The boys, from what I'm hearing, look good over there.
Look good. Pat, this will be, I'm telling you now, boys, I'm telling you, we got a favorable schedule. No matter how you think of the Huskers, this is year 3 of the Rule era, year 2 for Dylan Raiola, Dana Holgerson on the sideline full time. This is going to be the first double-digit win season since Willie C. senior year in 2012. You can book it. You heard it here right now. I'm just letting you know. I can feel it. It's in the air, and it starts tonight against Cincinnati.
Okay, it's in Arrowhead, obviously. Travis Kelce going to be there for Cincy. We assume. We're just assuming he's going to be there. That's his house. Now, if he's there, hold the phone.
Yeah.
Who else is there? Are you worried about that for Nebraska? I mean, that feels like there is potentially an aura coming into Arrowhead that is highly swinging in Cincinnati's favor. Have you thought about that, Will?
You know, when he got engaged, I texted him. I said, hats off to you, trying to distract the world from this ass whooping that's coming on Thursday night. From what I'm hearing, the missus won't be there.
Okay.
So it won't take over the entire world. But yes, I am a little nervous about the aura of Travis Kelce walking in that stadium. But again, this is about the Huskers. This is about the Bearcats. This is about stopping. I think it's Thorsby. They got a little dual threat quarterback.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, it's coming tonight. I swear to God, I feel it. I feel it.
Matt Rule can give all the speeches he wants to give. Taylor Swift walks in there in a Cincinnati shirt. You guys are
No one cares. Yeah.
You guys are absolutely cooked. Now, I like Raiola. I like E-Money, your running back. I met him at a WWE event. Great moxie. Feels like the offensive line's going to be good. I'm excited for you guys. Beefy. Okay, we got good beefy boys out there. Always Nebraska. Shout out. Can we talk about the announcement about you and ESPN today before the boys have their questions for you? Congratulations, man. This is an awesome thing. Like, legit, we are very happy for you guys. How does this come about, and what does this mean?
Dude, it's surreal, bro. Like, it still doesn't, Pat, I remember talking to you, we FaceTimed when Bustin' with the Boys kicked off, and you were giving me a lot of game on the podcast world and how to operate. And at that point, I want to say I was telling you, hey, I think we're going to go through the summer with pods and then stop during football season because you get really nervous about how the teams might feel being a distraction. I was still a free agent. Is this going to keep me out of playing in the NFL? And I just remember you telling me you have to treat your audience like it is your best friend. And if you're going to show up for them once a week, you show up for them once a week. My advice, recommendation to you, young Willie C, would be if you're going to do it once a week, then do it once a week throughout the entire year or as long as you guys can. And you're giving me game on the merchandise and everything else. And just to think back to that moment and get all the way here to now we are on the team with you at ESPN. This is a true story. I pissed the bed until I was 14 years old. And before I fell asleep every night, before I violently wet the bed, I would fall asleep to ESPN. ESPN, nostalgically for everybody, ESPN is also the previous channel when you're rocking Skinamax and you need that fallback in case your mom and dad walk in. Yeah. It was Sports Center and Top 10. Yeah. And now to get to appear on it and to be part of the brand, it is we're grateful, man. We are truly fired up.
Well, we're proud of you, both for stopping the pissing in the bed problem. Once you get to 14, you think that's probably a lifetime thing.
Yeah.
I think that is probably a lifetime moment. And also for all the hard work that you guys have put in. You guys have grinded over there. Mad respect, especially as ex-players trying to represent for football on a platform that you had to create. You should be proud of yourself, man. Every time I watched you guys, I knew you were special. And obviously, you don't have to be a genius to be able to see what's good and what isn't good. But it was immediate upon watching you and Taylor. It's like, this is a good show. You have the juice. Taylor is such a good smartass and super handsome. And I think he's got a little bit of a thing with blackjack and gambling. You guys maybe check on him. But hey, I follow along from outside looking in.
Hey, I do the same thing. I just say, are you sure? And he's like, I'm ready to go to war. I'm like, listen, you got to do your thing.
That's a lot of money, Taylor. That's a lot. Dana is a dog. He's been kicked out of a lot of places. He's got a title and everything like that. But that's him. I don't know. Is your brain okay? I don't know. The luck too, Dana. But nonetheless, you guys have worked your asses off. We're proud of you, and we're pumped you're going to be representing on ESPN. Good luck out there. We're proud of you, Will.
Thank you, bro. Thank you, boys.
No problem. All right, we got some questions for you. Go ahead, Tone.
Yeah, Will, you talked about stopping Sorsby tonight, and those black shirts on that Nebraska defense have basically been carrying the team the last 2 years. And I got no issues with the offense with Holgorsen and Raiola year 2. I think they're going to be much better. But, you lost your defense coordinator, Tony White. He goes down to Florida State. You lose a couple polar bears off that defensive line. Are the black shirts going to be the black shirts this year?
Tone, that's my biggest,
Yep.
that's what I'm most excited to see tonight is how the defense is going to perform, because you're right, like losing Tony White, not just Tony White too, but a couple other guys on the defensive staff, Terrence Knight and T. Knight, he went with them down to Florida State. That was a massive loss because they have been a top 25 defense the last couple of years, but there's a lot of optimism talking about rotations with these young cats, guys being able to play all across the line of scrimmage. I believe the linebacker's name is Javin Smith, 6'5", 230 pounds. I'm excited to see him run around. We do have a veteran group on the back end in the secondary, but that is kind of I'm not worried about the offense either. I'm just excited to see who's going to step up on the black shirt side, because everybody's wondering what are they going to be like. Well, you said it, those polar bears in the middle. So that's what I'm looking for.
They got any young Willie C's out there? They got any some white trash kids flying around throwing their heads in?
They do. They do, but who's going to step up and be that? I'm out here congratulating. You got John Bullock down, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, undrafted cat, walk-on to the University of Nebraska, earning his stripes as a senior, making a camp with the Bucs, and he's on the 53-man roster with Levante Davis.
That's what we like. That's what we like.
Yes, undrafted linebacker U is what Nebraska is. But we'll see. I'm excited.
That's not good.
Hold on.
That's good. We can't
put it on a shirt. Not good.
Put it on a shirt.
It's about overachieving.
Undrafted LBU.
Yep,
sweet.
Nebraska. That's awesome. The black shirt's a great nickname, though.
Yes.
For an entire crew, and it's seemingly always good. And then that being the question mark, I think is good news if you're a Nebraska fan. Now, let's move to the NFL. Obviously, you should have had a double-digit year career, and it's a damn shame. It's a damn shame that all that happened. Your last year was really your best, I think. You looked your fastest. You looked your fastest.
So funny.
You looked your fastest. So I think you were right. I think maybe 11 and 12 would have been in there, but you found your true calling. Ty, I have a question for you.
Yeah, Will, now that you are on ESPN, I'm excited to get your take on the Micah Parsons situation. This would be your first documented one, I believe. If you're Micah, and you're hearing, hey, the Packers, they want to trade for you. They got 45 per year for who knows, maybe even 50 per year.
Who's he hearing that from? Just you, or have the Packers said this?
Listen, it's out there.
Okay,
it's out there, okay? It's not just me. What is your take on that whole situation? Not like Shoddy thinks he's maybe going to play, but he doesn't know because he hasn't practiced or done anything all of training camp. Jerry is kind of hesitant to talk to other teams. Like, how do you think that whole situation is going to play out?
Brother, listen, we just said we were undrafted linebacker U. This is a position and a player where I've never gotten to experience that world. I'm sitting on my couch throughout the week watching this America's Team documentary and just seeing everything that Jerry Jones goes through, the pride that he has. I feel like he enjoys this game that is happening. You see my man going out there on different podcasts. He's doing a little press tour, going out there and kind of peacocking and letting the young man of Micah Parsons know they got him for 3 more years. If I'm Micah, I have no clue. Like, I would have too much anxiety. Sitting on the couch, kind of waiting for the season to unfold, leveraging everything. Am I in shape? Am I not in shape? Can I go? If I wait too long and then go out there the day of, I'm going to have to prove myself right and everybody else right that what I'm doing is the right thing. And if you fail, or if you get injured, or if you do anything else that isn't up to that expectation, it's going to be you're proving the Cowboys and everybody else right. I have too much anxiety thinking about it. I have no clue what's going to happen. I do hope Micah Parsons gets paid, because he is an absolute dog for the Dallas Cowboys. But I don't know. I know Jerry loves this game, is what I've gathered from what I've watched. Jerry Jones is in the pocket right now, and this is where he wants to be with Micah Parsons. And I think he respects Micah. I think he respects what Micah's doing.
I think he probably respects him, but he's also, I don't think there's any budging happening. The narrative is that the Green Bay Packers are in. Okay, and they will go. And the $45 million thing, Ty said that very confidently yesterday on the show. And then Schneidman came on from The Athletic for the Green Bay Packers. He's like, there's an offer on the table that is very favorable, basically, or there has been, but Jerry isn't listening. The way Ty Schmidt is turning that is Jerry isn't ready to listen yet. Like, there's going to come a time that Jerry's going to listen. I think they're just going to continue to dance. Micah ends up playing. Is that what you think the final outcome is?
I think he ends up playing. I think it's like this YouTube and Fox thing going on where, hey, are we going to get the games on Friday? Are they going to not let us watch Baylor Auburn on Friday night? And then all of a sudden somebody's hand gets pushed, and then like 2 hours before Ohio State and Texas kicks off, it's going to come to life. I think at some point it's going to come to life. Hey, Ty, I hope it's for the Packers, because I think like there's a part of you too that's like, is Micah just over the whole thing, and maybe he just wants to get out of that situation? Because I don't think the Cowboys are going to be that great this year. I don't think they're going to be very good.
What? Why? You don't think Dak's good? You don't like Shoddy? You don't think Shoddy's a guy? Eberflus, D coordinator, back where he's supposed to be, probably.
I think there's just too much going on, as always, around the Cowboys. I think they got a lot of talent. I like Flus on the defensive side. I don't know how Shoddy's going to be as a head coach, and him just being in this circus right now, I just don't know how it plays out, especially with the Commanders up north, with the Philadelphia Eagles up north. I think they're going to both be better than the Cowboys.
And the Giants.
Yeah, Giants.
The Giants.
Giants have some.
Forgot. We got to cover all the teams. The Giants have some good pieces out there in New York.
Malik Neighbors.
They're not going to be a bunch of candy asses this year.
Yeah, Malik Neighbors, he can catch a ball.
Yeah, he can.
He can catch a ball like Jackson Dart.
He's unbelievable. Schrags came on and was like, Terry McLaurin isn't really in Malik Neighbors tier, but he's there. It's like, what the fuck? who said that? Who is that really how you guys feel? I did not know that's how Giants fans feel. It is like Malik Neighbors is a guy. Like, I'm not saying he's not a guy. Terry McLaurin will be.
Long time.
Yeah, he's been a guy.
That is a guy.
Yeah.
That is a guy you're looking for. Happy they got that deal done. Trey Hendrickson, happy he got his deal done too. The boys have been attacking Trey a little bit.
Yeah.
The boys he got $14 million more in 1 year, and the boys are like, soft. This guy rolled
That's
over.
just because we know that's not
because it is.
He got $14 million more dollars.
The whole thing. You want to know what it really is? It's that it started here on the program.
So you're saying
talking to you.
We don't have enough motion.
We've been riding this thing from day one, rooting for him, and then he fucked it all up.
all we're saying is, yes, $14 million for this 1 year is awesome. But he said that's not what he wanted. He wanted multiple years.
That's
he
where
wanted
it started.
2 or 3
That was
years.
negotiation.
He didn't want 1 year.
Folded like a lawn chair.
No, he was in there fighting.
And they treated him like an asshole for 7 months publicly.
They did. At some point, these players need to just accept the deal that's on the table.
Yeah.
They said that.
They said
Exactly.
that. Yeah.
But he went back there, golf clothes.
Yep.
Shook hands, talked to the press. I want to be here.
And accepted the deal on the table.
Yeah.
No, they upped it. Yeah. He got more. They were offering $5 million more. I did not hear that as a
He said we knew.
He won the negotiation a little bit. Definitely.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did.
No,
Walked
he didn't.
in there, and Mike Brown said, "We knew you."
It's like the
Come
10th highest
crawling
paid
back.
at the end. He was sacked.
He said, "Come here, Trey.
Sorry. Well, this is a thing that's been happening off air a lot.
First time it was brought to.
Yeah, so we just brought that on air. You just saw an off-air conversation happening on air. The boys fed up with Trey.
Hey, Trey, guess what?
Exactly.
We'll see you next year, too.
Okay, all right. See, this is what they did. They
Kneel,
killed this
Trey.
guy.
Come on, boys.
He got $14 million more, and these guys, what is that?
He deserves 20. That's why.
We agree. I think you're doing this from a position of love. For
Exactly.
Trey.
Correct.
It always is.
But you're attacking him pretty good. You're pretty.
Sometimes
yeah,
a little bit tough love.
Insulting him a little bit, but it's got to be done.
trying to help him.
What do you think about Trey Hendrickson's situation? Will you think $14 million more bucks for a guy is good news, or do you think he definitely deserved more? And if he was maybe just a little bit more of an asshole,
a couple more
it
weeks.
might have got accomplished. But he just couldn't do it.
Yeah,
he literally just couldn't do it. I think.
Again, like Pat, it's like this. I'm assuming the self-talk in his head, this game that's going on. He was playing it well. He was posturing. He's at OTAs, training camp. He's standing. He's talking to the media, throwing it back at the Bengals, posturing up. And at the end of the day, once they start hurting your pockets a little bit, and you start thinking of not only hurting the pockets but hurting the team, like the Bengals, if they have some sort of defense this year, they can be nice. You got Joe Burrow, who, in my opinion, listen, when he's healthy, he's the best QB in the game. And when you have that potential, you got Steelers that are coming. You got the Ravens that are built for success always. And when you're just sitting there as a player, it's like there's a lot of selfishness to where it's like you got to do what's best for you. You got to play the game as long as you can play the game. But there's always that team aspect that's just eating at your head. And at some point, it's like, who's going to break here? And, if the boys are saying he broke, he walked in, he signed the dotted line for $14 million more dollars, and that's a loss, then okay, that's a good loss. That's a good way to lose.
That's a good loss.
That's a good day to take that particular loss. I appreciate Will Compton, ESPN analyst, founder of Bussin' with the Boys, says Joe Burrow is best quarterback in NFL when healthy. That is what you said there. That is going to get out there. You believe that? There's a lot.
Yes.
There's a lot of quarterbacks out there. I believe Joe Burrow definitely in the. I'm not doing the who's the best game because that's a nightmare for a Daily Show host. But in the pantheon, would definitely put Joe Burrow up there. He got paid as such, and we all love watching him. You just said outright though, this is the best guy in the league. Why do you think that? And who is, I guess, second? Would that be Mahomes, Lamar, Josh,
Jalen?
That's a great question, Pat.
Danny Dahn.
That's a great question, Pat. I like Joe B just because you hear just everybody talk about this, man, whether it's coordinators, coaches. It's like there's you're not really game planning Joe Burrow. You can't game plan Joe Burrow. I want to say, who was the player that came out? I was like, oh, you can game plan Josh Allen. You can't game plan Joe Burrow. He wasn't like taking a shot at Josh, but he was trying to explain it in the way that's like, when Joe's firing, his brain, his mind is just in a different stratosphere. I'm not saying the other boys aren't smart enough to play football, Pat. I'm just saying when Joe Burrow is operating, you see what he does when he has zero defense. Got weapons on the outside, O-line that sometimes blocks for him, but if they can get it in gear, Joey B is slinging the rock better than anybody in the league. Patrick Mahomes, he's the baby goat. Josh Allen, he's an absolute stud who is the reigning MVP. Lamar Jackson, multiple-time MVP. They're all studs.
Dimes.
Danny Dimes.
Yeah, Danny Dimes. Danny Dimes out in the Indy.
Why do you laugh?
But I love.
This ain't jokey time, bud. Let's do quarterback analysis, please.
We're going Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes. You throwing Danny Dimes on.
We don't know.
Athletes.
We don't know here at the Indianapolis Colts regime, but I understand what you're saying. That is a little disrespectful to the other guys for what they have accomplished thus far. I do apologize.
Just so you know, Will, it was Joe's teammate Jamar Chase that said that about the game planning thing.
I was gonna say that, but again, once I was in the flow, I was like, let me not just try and throw this name at the wall here. Again, daily television. I got to be on my P's and Q's out here.
No, brother. So you're always going to be corrected, even if you're right. So
exactly.
There's nothing you can do about it. But I appreciate that about Joe and Burrow. I don't think a lot of people are saying that. Because that sounds like reminiscent of like Peyton. Like that was Peyton's thing. Like, yeah, he knows what you're doing, and brain-wise, he is just so far ahead of everybody. The amount of preparation that it takes to get to that point that Joey B's doing is absurd. Like, that is just how he has to operate, so I respect that. And I don't think there's a lot of people going to bat for Joe Burrow being the best quarterback in the NFL on a regular basis. No. So, welcome.
And that was a great comparison with Peyton Manning. I don't know how many times I lost my voice at the lunch table in high school trying to argue Peyton Manning over Tom Brady until it's just like you couldn't anymore because of all the Super Bowls. But that's a great comparison. You're not game planning. You're not doing anything against Peyton Manning that's going to be successful other than like you hope something works out against that man. And I feel like it's the same with Joe B.
The timing was always the issue. If you could get a good jam and mess up the timing route, right? Like that was kind of what I think Bill started doing.
That's when they changed the rule because they kept crying.
Okay. All right, let's go. That is not.
That's a fact.
Listen, if you're lobbying for your team to benefit for something and it works, good on you.
Yeah.
Patriots fans should not be saying anything about people doing things to get better as a team.
That's we can.
Oh yeah,
yes,
that's a fact.
I mean, proven witch hunt against us was Deflategate. Proven.
What about the other gate and the other gate and the other gate and the other gate?
Once again, those were legal in terms of rules.
Agreed. That's why all the other people were just like, hey,
exactly.
Let's not be looking too far at it.
Then when looked at, they're like, oh, but New England's doing it, so we gotta do something to them, kind of try and strike down the empire. Well, but it lasted 20 years.
Hey, when you're on top of the mountain for 20 years, people are going to try to attack you. Mm-hmm. And once again, all football people, whenever they heard about everything that New England did, were like, let's not get too crazy. Let's not be investigating too much here. Let's move along. Let's move along here. Well, we got to burn the tapes, right? Okay, burn the tapes.
Whatever.
Yeah. Let's move along, burn the bridges. Let's stay in New England, though.
Yeah.
Obviously, somebody you know very well. Go ahead, Con.
Yeah, well, you were up there in New England. I believe you were trying to interview Vrabel. He told you no, and I also just want to pass on my thoughts on it. If you didn't don the logo, stay the fuck out of the building, Compton. But when it comes to Vrabel as a whole,
You did not deserve that.
hey, look, I'm just throwing that out there on behalf of people who are Patriots fans in New England. But when you're looking at Vrabel, you know, Stretch just did a entire interview with Ari Mirov, and Stretch is, you know, Vrabel's Ernie Adams, basically about how Vrabel is a football savant. He's got the McVay recall, but you never really hear about that, you know, publicly because Vrabel, you know, looks like a big meathead. What can you tell us about Mike Vrabel you think that most people don't know, and how do you think the Patriots will do in his first year?
Most people know that he's a good asshole.
Yes.
I would say what Vrabel does, in my opinion, that it's a thing that like set him apart from other coaches that I played for, is Vrabel does a great job every week. You're going to hear three keys come up a lot. And there's three keys on offense, there's three keys on defense, and there's three keys on special teams. Teams do that, teams have that. But the way Vrabel paints a picture for how you're going to win a football game, where it feels like your back's against the wall and everybody's counting you out, and he's throwing clips up of your team performing it in practice or executing in practice, or throwback clips of yourself executing it back in the day, or stuff around the league that says, hey, here's how we are going to affect this game and here's how we have to win this game. The way he does that, because you have a team meeting every morning to kick off the day, Vrabel does a very good job of clearly painting the picture of how you're going to win the football game. And there's no deviating from that. You're going to get your ass checked every day through practice film when you deviate from that, or when you're like doing your own thing. This is why we say this. This is why we say that. And he shows you in front of the entire team. So what Vrabel does so well that I feel like no other coaches like did that I played for, that you're kind of like, oh shit, he's right. He gets guys motivated this way. He paints a clear picture for how you're going to win a football game. And then when it happens, you know, he sits there and brags about it and talks about, hey, this is why we did this, this is why we did that. You know, 14 years, what do I know? But he is, man. He's a leader of men. And all eyes are on him when you're in that room and your asshole's tight. But he paints a picture for how you're going to win a football game.
When he's putting his hands on people, that's a part of the whole thing, right? That's a part of the whole thing for him. Like, he has to be the alpha in the room. And people need to know he's the alpha. Literally, when I met him in person for the first time at that golf outing out in the American Century thing in Tahoe, he walks through the tent and he sees me and AJ. I just got done walking 18 holes for the second time in my life. The first time was the day before. Mm-hmm. My feet were all, it was terrible. I was rather high. I was on a different stratosphere maybe. Probably pretty boozed up if I had to guess.
Certainly.
We had a good time out there.
Yeah, fireball and AJ.
Oh, yeah, you just got fireball.
Yeah,
he got fireball. Yeah, it was a good time. We were having a blast. He comes walking through. You feel his aura as he hits the tent, you know? And he just got done walking 18 holes as well, and he's 250, 260 pounds. But he's going to no-sell that. Nobody's allowed to see any weakness. And he comes walking straight over to us, and I see his big-ass mitt literally flying like it was a left hook. And I'm like, oh, he's about to check me right now. He's about to hit my arm, and he's going to check me. I was tired. I was a little bit high. Sue me, don't actually. Sure. I was a little boozed up.
It's California.
But I knew in that moment, like, he is checking me right now. I flex as hard as I can, lean into it, and I think there's a good stalemate right there, right? Mm-hmm. But he wrapped his entire hand around my shoulder, and I was like, this guy's an animal. This guy is an absolute animal. And, like, I felt like I had to, like, when you're in a room with a pit bull, and pit bull get these bad rap. I have a pit bull. Pit bulls are like the greatest dogs of all time. But if you're around one of these dogs and they sense that you're scared, they're going to mess with you. Like, that's what it is. Yeah. Vrabel is very much a guy, like, if he senses is there anything in this guy, he's going to attack, I feel like. And I think that is why his leadership style is so good. He's the guy he's in the locker room still, I think, if I'm watching accurately. The way he talks, the way you guys interact with him, the way he operates, he's still player in locker room, but he's obviously coach and obviously in charge. Is that an accurate depiction of his leadership style? Is that something you think?
Spot on. A time where you might feel like there could be any separation from the locker room and a head coach. He's got the ability as the head coach to banter with you, bust your balls, break your spirit to where you're kind of like, yeah, I kind of have to listen to him. And the dude is like, I sent Stretch a screenshot of when they got that fight in training camp.
Yeah.
Because you had the video, and Vrabel just, it's like coaches don't want fighting to happen. Vrabel likes to act like he does.
Oh no!
Oh, no. Oh, that's a
He's on the bus.
bomb in there.
You're on the bus. You're on the bus.
Did you guys get me? Did you lose me?
No, you said Vrabes likes to act like he doesn't like the fights, and then
Vrabel likes to pretend as a coach we don't want any fights happening. But once that fight breaks out, he's like, you just said it, a pit bull. He wants to be in the mix. He wants to be yelling like it shouldn't happen, but he also wants to let the boys know at the bottom of the pile that it's still his pile. I sent Stretch a screenshot and like, hey, get him, Stretch, because Stretch kind of moseyed in there and then kind of backed away. He wasn't about that life, but that is Vrabel to a T, man. He's just got the ability to still get on that player level with you, and he still has that respect and leadership as a player and also as a coach.
yeah, and his
You see Stretch back there?
which one Stretch?
Stretch, you go to the beginning.
There.
He's a tall guy in that gray shirt, white hat. Tall guy, yeah. Gray shirt, white hat. Look at him, stepping away.
Come on, Vrabes. Come on, we can't be in the fight, man. Hey, how about him coming out bleeding?
Yeah.
In the entirety? It's like a whole new era up there in New England. Patriots fans, he's gone. The bus.
The bus, yeah.
The bus.
It might need to get that checked out.
Might have been sharing too much game on Vrabel.
Yeah, it might have been.
True.
Excuse me, stop talking about it. You said we got rats in the building. Here's one right now on ESPN.
They do have that machine up there that shuts everything down and creates weather.
Yeah, and the weather, yeah.
Then they built a thing above it to show everybody where it stands.
And then they started deflating the balls.
No. Remember, that was a witch hunt in 2014. When it happened, they started testing the balls the next season in 2015, and they realized, oh fuck, when it gets cold out, the balls they deflate a little.
Turns out science has been saying this for a while. Yeah, but a little bit more than the others.
Yeah.
Joining us from the bus, ladies and gentlemen, Will Compton. How's it going?
Good. Did I get lost? I came back. I don't know what happened.
I don't know if you got lost.
No,
But you just said joining us, Will Compton. I was like, hang on, am I watching a replay? Is a replay about to happen? I'm back watching the boys.
No, you just lost connection there, right? Did that happen on your side? On our side, a disconnected screen popped up. You were gone. We lost service. Yes.
Oh, gotcha. I was trying to break down Stretch in that fight, but maybe the boys didn't hear me. And then the phone just hung up.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about.
Lost service.
So that's why I introduced you back.
First phone call?
You were kind of gone there.
I'm back.
Yes, you are.
yeah.
Yes, you. Yes, you are, Will. Yes, you are. And on that note, Will, thanks for joining us today. That was awesome. Hey, very happy for your success. Legit. Tonight, you want to pick these two games tonight?
Nebraska minus 6.5.
How about Boise State and USF?
USF.
Ooh.
Okay.
I like USF as the underdog.
Tough trip down there.
Okay. You think these are going to be high scores, or you think it's going to be kind of a cagey affair between these two? Early in the season, do offenses have it figured out?
I like points in the Huskers Cincy game. Again, I think Sorsby being a dual threat guy, he could cause problems for any defense. And again, it being a young Nebraska defense, I don't think it starts catching momentum until the second half. I like a high-scoring game for the Huskers Cincy. Boise USF, don't know much about. No, Ashton Genty is not there anymore. I feel like Boise's just a logo and a name. They're going down to South Florida and playing in that heat. So that's why I like USF. But again, 61.5, that's a high-scoring game. That's not, look, I watch Big Ten football, I watch SEC, and I dabble in the Big 12 and ACC a little bit. But outside of that, I ain't tuned in to the Boise States of the world.
Well, you should. They're always good for a reason, dude. Like, it's not obviously Ashton Genty was a big deal, but they got a good program up there.
Yeah,
they really love it. Chuck Pagano I think he lives up there.
Yeah.
And he talks about the commitment to ball that they have. So I think Boise State's always going to be good, especially with the opportunity that they have now with the college football playoff and how much money it is. But USF out the gate is not an easy. That's not an easy week one when you don't even know what your team is.
No, Boise basically returns everyone, including quarterback Maddox Matson, except for Ashton Genty. So that's why they're projected to make the playoff. But no, like going down to USF in that heat, coming from Boise.
And that heat.
Idaho gets hot.
And you know USF,
Idaho gets hot now.
What'd you say?
USF has got some, they
Athletes.
got
the
athletes.
They
got the guys.
They used to, when we would play them, West Virginia would go down there. it was like we should beat it in theory. Everybody thinks we're going to beat this team. But then you look at their D-line, they all ran like 4.5s, 4.6s. Yeah. Like the whole D-line ran. Linebackers, all of them, 4.4 or better, like way before it. It's like, how is this team not like very, 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 very good? And it's like, well, who knows about USF setup with the funding and everything like that.
You also know how much fun South Florida can be.
Yeah, yep.
A lot of distractions down there.
A lot of distractions. All right, we appreciate the hell out of you. Well, congrats on everything. You and Taylor and the whole team over there.
Thank you, boys. Love you. See you Saturday.
You too. Good luck, dude. Ladies and gentlemen, Will Compton.
Yeah, Will.
Big Will Compton.
Mm-hmm.
What a dog.
Is he going to game day? Sounds like he's going to game day.
Oh, that'd be awesome. Is he on game day?
I don't. He said see you Saturday.
Maybe he meant like through the tube? Or did he mean?
Oh, yeah.
Like I'll be watching.
Like, I'll see you.
Hey, the best truck.
Oh.
Dahn on.
That new Ram.
Ooh.
Man.
Nothing stops a Ram.
Is that an Iowa Hawkeye Ram truck?
I was going to say black and gold, Tony.
Pittsburgh, yeah, they got Dahn on there. I think they're trying to potentially. I
But
mean, Iowa. I like that your first thought is Iowa.
Yep.
I like
The
that because
yellow.
college ball.
That's more of an
Hawk
Iowa.
College
That's
ball.
more of an Iowa yellow than a Steeler yellow.
Yeah, I agree.
There's a difference. Trust
Yeah,
me.
I agree. Yeah, there's a shade. I guess you could certainly change it. But with that being said, nothing stops Ram.
I didn't see the down, to be honest with you.
It's right
Now
above
I
my
get it.
head.
Yep.
But
You got that yellow blood splatter.
it's the best truck Dahn on the line.
It is.
If you need a truck and it's on the line, the best one Dahner, Ram truck.
There's no argument there. Better than all the other guys.
They are better than all the other guys.
Yeah, I don't like that other truck.
Every other truck.
There's another truck that might say it can do what Ram trucks do, but it ain't like the other ones.
No.
Ram trucks are very different.
That Ram truck would pull that other truck backwards.
All right, let's talk about my truck.
Yep.
That guy was in a Ram truck.
Yes, he was.
And that's why he was so confident.
Yeah, he knew.
Let's talk about some NFL news. Cam Ward named captain. Rookie season. Congratulations.
Hell yeah.
Quarterback, especially with everything that is said about Cam Ward, I think we all kind of expected this. This is cool, though. This is not a normal thing to be a rookie and to be a captain of a team. If you're a quarterback, obviously the team would hope that you would become a captain or be a leader of men. Cam Ward, seemingly leadership is one of his best qualities. If you go back to when he was at Miami, flipped the entire time. Flipped the entire university, flipped the entire building. Congrats to him on becoming the #1 overall pick with a lot of great hard-ass work. Started at Incarnate Word.
Yep.
Then he went to Washington State.
Yep.
Then he goes to Miami. Then he creates a resume in college that makes him the #1 overall pick and described as a generational talent. If you listen to the GM, who early in the draft process said, you #1 overall pick, you're not going to pass over a generational talent. I think he's also a generational leader. I think the way his brain operates and the way his teams respond to him is a wonderful thing. And I think Tennessee Titans have a chance now. Can they become a team that is relevant in the conversation? Because Nashville having a good team would be cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because Nashville likes ball. And Nashville is also a great time.
Yes.
So them having a good team would be great for the NFL.
It will, and Cam Ward is awesome. All the stories about how early he gets there in his leadership, so not surprised he is a captain. But Foxy, can you throw that up there? Because I have a question about captains, Pat. There's a lot of 1-stars on there below the C's, which I believe means it's his first year of being a captain.
Yeah.
There's, 5 of them for this team. Do you like that for a team that, did have the first overall pick last year? So, hey, maybe we do need some new leadership in this locker room.
Yeah, I like that, they're going with a new generation. They certainly need to turn the page. Callahan coached there for a couple of years now. He's trying to establish his culture. These are his guys. I assume they were brought in to be leaders. So, yeah, I don't mind the 1-stars all over the place, especially you got Simmons up there who got into a fight with Cam Ward. So, I think they have the pieces. They have the city. They got an upgrade to the stadium, too,
new
right?
stadium coming.
An investment for a stadium. So it's like
Could be so nice.
the Titans uniforms, too, are sick. I know the Houston Texans people don't like that.
But they're filthy.
But they got great uniforms.
And they're healthy.
And Cam Ward's seemingly very entertaining. Once again, has not played a single down of football.
Right.
Seemingly very entertaining. We love it. I hope the Titans become a good team.
Yeah, and, I mean,
They're in the Colts division. So
that's what I was going to say.
they're looking up like this at Dane Dimes and the boys. But, I mean, that is what the AFC South football is all about.
I think they're standing next to the Colts, but I do think there's a chance. The Colts and the Titans are two of the healthier teams in that division at the moment. Everyone else has kind of already had some sort of
Texans
injury. Texans for sure, Jags. So I mean, hold the phone. What if the Titans are?
Yeah, the AFC South is always going to be a dogfight, and now that
Puppy
Danny
dog.
Dimes in here, there's problems for everybody. Let's talk about two divisions: the AFC East and the NFC West. They'll be wearing Nike's Rivalry uniforms this year. They debuted on social media this morning. Nasty set of threads. The boys are modeling. Yeah, give me a little sexy eyes for these new Rivalry jerseys, boys. Plopped there in front of a green screen. Let's go ahead and take a photo with some good lighting and showcase some sick unis. Now, anytime you put an alternate jersey out, there's a chance everybody's going to hate it.
Yep.
Okay, that is just something that is possible. In area, there's a chance you strike gold. I think that New England jersey's sick right there, just as I look at it.
Love it.
With Drake May. I think a couple of the others, like the Niners jersey, I think people will want to buy that. I think people will get excited about the Jets. I think the Arizona Cardinals even have a little bit of pizzazz on their uniforms. Anytime these happen, there's always going to be like kind of mixed results. But if the team sells, I don't know, 1 million of these jerseys,
Definitely will.
Yeah.
so much more money.
Mm-hmm.
So much more money for their business. And also, I think it looks cool whenever it's on the field. Color Rush used to be on Thursday night. It was sweet.
Yeah, it was.
Used to be divisional games. It was rivalry games.
Good ones.
Short week. These teams know each other, and they're going to dress like highlighters out there.
Yeah.
And it was like, wow, this is different. This is a little bit of sauce. There was throwback uniforms, and alternate uniforms became the conversation. I like whenever they do this. I think whenever you do too many, though, it's a little bit of exploitation of your fan base.
Yeah, for sure.
But I think whenever you do it a couple times, I like it. I don't mind it.
I like the themes to this one too. Obviously, Buffalo, you got the snow. In New England, you got the nor'easter coming off the ocean. And
Stafford, you got Gotham.
yeah, Arizona, you have the sand, little bits of dust of sand, which is a huge sandstorm rolled through the other day. So there's those unique intricacies that you gotta love.
Yeah, I like the artistry you're saying from these Nike threads.
What's interesting is I just assumed it was, the two light-colored teams were playing, the two dark-colored jersey teams, but the Bills and Pats are wearing those jerseys against each other. Like, those are which I think is interesting as well.
No, they'll make sure that there ain't no confusion on who's on whose team.
Little light blue and white. I just,
Well, I know how the photos look versus how they are in real life, too, a whole nother thing.
Yeah.
Because what's the lighting like in the studio where they're taking the photos?
Icy.
Obviously, it's cold as ice. Willing to sacrifice $500 probably for this jersey.
That's the thing. That's the thing is
Take it.
now. Listen, I'm not really a jersey guy. If you are, good on you. You will be spending $499.99 for that tackle twill jersey. I don't want to say we've jumped the shark on some of these ones.
What?
A lot of these.
That one's a dolphin. Dolphin.
Come on, man.
Under the sea.
That's just fucking goofy.
Under the sea.
From the depths, brother.
Like that one, like the Seahawks one, looks like, I don't know, it got like Seahawk talons slicing open the jersey.
Feathers.
There's just a lot of goofy bullshit on these. And I get it.
What?
I get it. If you're a 12-year-old boy, that's all you're asking for Christmas.
That's sick.
So I understand.
See,
That's awesome.
the Jets have the Master Sergeant Halo 3 green, man.
J-E-T-S. Jets.
That's actually the first thing I said.
J-E-T-S. Jet. Hope Fireman Ed has a great season this year.
Yeah.
I hope they still put him on the Jumbotron because word on the street is up there in New York is they're about done with Fireman Ed.
No.
But I hope not.
Let's get to a break. On the other side, we got a great. They'll never will be. We got AJ Hawk joining us. I'll be with him live tomorrow in Ohio. Can't wait to get out there and celebrate the hell out of Lee Corso's last game and also the kickoff of another monster college football season. We'll have Michael Lombardi, general manager of the UNC Tar Heels, and head coach of West Virginia, Rich Rodriguez, join us in the next hour. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice that might change their life. We'll see you on the other side. Cheers.
Hi, how's it going? My name is Pat McAfee. Used to hold balls for Adam Vinatieri. Now I'm in his home state. College game day is absolutely electric. In Brookings,
College game day has made the voyage to Brookings, South Dakota to experience a game with the best fans in college football. I unfortunately cannot attend because I have a game this Sunday, so I sent a man I trust to make my picks. A man who was my holder for almost a decade. Please be nice to him. Welcome this week's celebrity guest picker, Pat McAfee.
Go big, go Go Blue, go Jacks.
Hosting Auburn. Yes, everybody saw this. The best fake punt in the world. What do you think, Pat?
I absolutely loved it all the way up until execution time. That is not what we like to show in the brand headquarters and punting and kicking world.
Oh, dance off. Oh, let's get weird. Yes. Duck that, huh?
Bang! Right off the top of the dome. That makes it a lot easier when you got a dummy standing right in front of you like that.
Running. He's Hayden Daniel Russo.
Wax on, wax off, knee to the face.
Yes. Serious.
Go, go, yes.
These teams stink. With that 15, they celebrate by doing shotguns, and I'm a big fan of that. I'm going with the University of Virginia Cavaliers. That was great. Whoa! I will never, ever in the history of my life bet against that ball. Oklahoma State is the way here. Not so fast again.
But I'm going with Trey.
Please excuse my dumb friend Kirk. Look at this crowd. They've been out here since 4 a.m. College game day comes to town. They lose their mind. The population of this state is about 800,000. And when the Jackrabbits take the field, they're alongside all 800,000 South Dakotans. The Dakota marker was in Fargo for far too long. Today, 5 o'clock local time, the Dakota marker is back in beautiful Brookings, South Dakota. Terry School. They might be the Jackrabbits, but they're the GOATs today. Ladies and gentlemen, South Dakota State with the win.
Give me that price in.
No, don't do that. No. Leave. No.
The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey,
What?
let's go.
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for.
McAfee on the line with a gorgeous assist.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers, you pig! Damn it! Your friend tell a friend something nice could change their life. Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this hard-edged Thursday, August 28th, 2025. Hour 2 of the program begins now. Football is the greatest, huge night of college football as week 1 of the season officially kicks off this evening at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time on ESPN as Boise State takes on USF, and then Nebraska will take on Cincinnati on 9 p.m. on ESPN. There's like 20 other games taking place. We are officially a football season, and we are acting accordingly. We are in great moods. This is the time that we have fought all offseason for. This is the time that we look forward to all year. Since the Super Bowl ended, this is the day that we want in our lives. This is the morning where we take a dump and it's a smooth dump. There's no wipes.
Yeah, all in one.
This is the morning the first sip of coffee or water is the perfect kind of temperature or mixture. This is the morning where you're brushing your teeth and it's tickling your nose hairs, and it just is enlightening you into a sense of absolute pure joy and happiness, because tonight we have a sport that is better than every other sport on earth, and storylines developing that'll continue and carry all the way into January. This is a great time to be alive, and we're thankful you're allowing us to do this for a living. The Toxic Tables here at Boston Connor and at Ty Schmidt. Iowa with Gronowski might be the year.
Hey, it could be. Listen, I'm actually very excited to see what the Big Ten will be like, kind of in that second layer. We all know what, Ohio State and Oregon and Penn State are going to look like, but a lot of people think that there is a chance that the Big Ten gets 4 teams into the playoff this year. So teams like Nebraska, who everyone's kind of hot to trot, especially with the Matt Rule in his 3rd-year deal. Hey, this team's got a favorable schedule. This could be setting up for them to get in. I think Iowa's the same way. I think if everything goes right for both Nebraska and Iowa, the game they play each other could be like an eliminator to get into the playoffs.
Let's go to one half of the hammer.
Dahn.
Cowboys, AP Tone. Indiana ranked 20th right there. Sig had to do a big overhaul yet again. He just wins. And that is literally what Google will tell you and your eyes if you watch any team that he plays. Is Indiana have a shot doing what they did again last year?
Yeah, if their quarterback works out, if the quarterback situation works out again like it did last year, they bring in Francisco Mendoza from Cal, who was really good there last year. But on the defensive side, they have a first-team All-Big Ten guy at D-tackle, at linebacker, and the secondary. So they have all
three levels, baby.
Yeah, and they reloaded with a couple of Notre Dame linemen on the offensive line. So Sig has reloaded. I don't know if IU is that something you could say in the past, but it feels like Sig has reloaded. They do have a chance. Their schedule is a bit harder this year.
Well, last year, a lot of people talked about their schedule, and they said, what do you want to say? We played who we played. You know, a couple special teams mistakes against Ohio State. That game's a little bit different.
For sure.
You know, and that's what Signetti's definitely telling the boys, too, as they go into this season. What an incredible motivator and coach. I've enjoyed getting to know him, as I've enjoyed getting to know the entire college football landscape, as I was baptized through it College Game Day 3 years ago. Cannot wait to get over to Columbus, Ohio, the home of a college football national champion, a Super Bowl champion, a Ryder Cup winner, and a man who's currently in the middle of a new haircut. Ladies and gentlemen, AJ Hawk. We're in the middle of it. We're doing it right now.
What's the normal age to stop peeing the bed at night, you know?
14 seems way too old. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, when you pee in the bed and you can almost have your temps and drive with your parents in the car, like that, I don't know.
Your temps.
Temporary
That's
license. Yeah, temps. Very.
You don't call it temps? 15 and a half, you get your temps.
What, for like farm trucks and stuff?
No, when you turn 15 and a half, you take a little written test and get your temps.
Okay.
We call it our permit.
Permit.
Temps is much
Your permit's your license.
No, your license is your license. Yeah, that's
Ohio.
Okay.
I guess the permit permits you to drive. Is that how you guys view it, as opposed to a license?
Permit. What are we? 100 years old? It sounds like an old formal term.
That's what it's called.
You're calling it temps.
Tomato. We're good.
No, I think temps is a much better word.
Some people call it a permit.
There you go.
I will not permit anybody to do that here on this particular program. But with that being said, 14 feels a little bit too old to be peeing the bed. Who would have thought that guy would go on to have a 9-year NFL career, and now he's an ESPN analyst.
Yeah, that's right.
Hell yeah.
And we're pumped for him. We can't wait to watch him this football season. It's going to be a great one. You just talked about it. We're pumped. College football's here. Tonight, what are you looking forward to, brother?
I tell you what, USF, I know people are trying to say, what is it, 5.5? They're dogs, I believe, against Boise. I think that's a testy little one. I'm not scared of UCF on this one. Alex Golish is the coach. He was actually at Ohio State my senior year, like junior and senior year. The guy was like student just breaking into the coaching world. I've watched his whole path, so I have a lot of respect for what he does. But I mean, Nebraska UC, that's going to be awesome. At Arrowhead, it's going to be an awesome environment.
Andy Reid welcoming them yesterday was really sweet. You know, there's photos like Matt Rule and Andy Reid talking. There's a lot of, great history, obviously, in that stadium. Tonight, they'll kick off a college football season. Can't wait to watch. There's also other games. There's like 20 other games. I think ECU's playing
NC State, I believe.
NC State, right there in the middle. That's a huge game. I mean, NC State every year, potentially a conversation piece.
Mm-hmm.
Favored by 13.5 at home. Okay.
Yeah.
Here we go. Here we go. You can ECU can get it how you want it right here. You know, this is a great start.
Listen, we've been talking this week. Ohio, Rutgers, Buffalo, Minnesota, Miami of Ohio at Wisconsin. Those are 3 MAC teams versus 3 middle-of-the-road Big Ten projected teams this year. There's a chance one of those MAC teams gets one of them boys tonight.
Yeah, I don't think the books are showing enough respect for the smaller tier teams, especially in the modern NIL world. You know, some of these schools, I don't know what Ohio's exact setup is, but if they just have a couple $100,000 from donors, you can get good players at certain positions. And if you get good players at certain positions and you have like good fill guys everywhere else, you could steal a win against a team. Any team. Like that can happen. Let alone week 1 where nobody has a clue what they're going to be. Everybody thinks what their team is. But until you actually get out there, you don't know. It's like 13.5 is a lot of points. 15.5 is a lot of points for week 1. Now, granted, I know that's a lot of respect for Rutgers and for NC State and everything like that. 17.5 up there. Like that, that's a lot. That's a lot of points for week 1 college football game, in my eyes. I am not saying that this is what you should spend your hard-earned money on. I'm just saying when I look at that, I think the sports books are thinking that there's going to be some blowouts here tonight. And in my eyes, first week of college, who knows?
There's always one. There's always at least one. There's probably going to be multiple this weekend where someone big, gets upset in that. But, Those Mountaineers better be watching that Ohio and Rutgers game tonight because I believe Mountaineers go to Athens, Ohio in week 2.
Yeah, and don't you worry about that.
Uh-oh.
Okay? Yeah, we'll thank the Shiano man.
Sure.
Okay. Shout out to Part of My Take for giving us a blueprint on what we need to do week 2. We'll certainly watch that.
Yeah.
The Mountaineers, we'll be talking to this man, head coach Rich Rodriguez, here in about 20 minutes or so. Can't wait to catch up with him. There was a stat that just dropped about the amount of starts from the players that he transferred in. We have the most amount of starts transfers in the entire Power 4 conference. This is from Max Olson. So West Virginia, we have 51 transfers that have a combined 462 starts of experience. A lot of seniors, 35 of them, I think. 32,000 snaps. Right underneath there, Virginia in the ACC. Only 31 transfers, but 447 starts. A lot of football played by not that many guys. So you're thinking this is kind of the Indiana rule. Mm-hmm. Indiana got a lot of transfers that had a lot of starts, a lot of wins from smaller divisions. Hungry dogs, if you will. Hey, let's go try to flip this shit at the highest level. They make the playoffs. Mm-hmm. Okay, that was an insane run. Now you're seeing West Virginia. Rich Rod's going to have to bring in a lot of veterans who have been through his type of style shit before as he's trying to change the culture. But I assume he also thinks you got to win early. And the way to do that is with players that have won before.
Yeah, and this is the potentially the blueprint now after IU last year. So let's look at it. West Virginia, new coach. Virginia, new third-year coach. Purdue, new coach. Arizona, second-year coach. Houston, second-year coach. Wake Forest, first-year coach. Colorado, Prime loves the portal. And then North Carolina, new coach. Like, these are all, a lot of programs with new coaches bringing in guys.
And on that note, North Carolina has a general manager. That general manager happens to be a friend of the program. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us now live from Chapel Hill, where I will be Monday night for a kickoff show. We'll be off on Labor Day, but I will be a part of a kickoff show for their first game of the season against TCU. Ladies and gentlemen, multiple-time Super Bowl champion, author, TED talker, podcast host, live show host, email newsletter founder, and now general manager of the North Carolina Tar Heels football team. Ladies and gentlemen, Paisano, Michael Lombardi.
Hello, Pat. It's so good to be back. It's so good to be back with you again, Pat.
Mambo, I know you're in a cave right now, probably watching film. We appreciate you joining us.
Saving money.
We know you've been working your ass off down there. How has it been? Now we have full off season, regular season right around the corner. You're all the way back into ball. Is this as awesome as you thought it was going to be? And when you were doing media, were these the days you were yearning for? How do you feel going into the season?
Well, I mean, I'm a little disappointed I missed the Kelsey Taylor Swift announcement being in the media. I'll admit that to you. You know, I mean, I mean that was a big day, but other than that, I couldn't be happier. I mean, this is what I wanted to do since I was 11 years old, and I'm delighted to do it with the greatest coach of all time and at one of the greatest universities, public universities. So I'm really living out a dream late in my life. I'm happy. We've got a lot of people working really hard on what we're doing. Our coaches, our support staff, our recruiting's going well. So look, it's all coming together, but we're building a process, and that takes time, and we're building a foundation for sustainable success, and you just don't do that overnight, and it takes time, but we've got players that have bought in completely. I think you'll feel that, Pat, when you come down here Monday night. I think everybody's bought into Coach's program. They love what we're doing, and now we've just got to build confidence without evidence. We got to go out there and build that confidence.
Rome wasn't built in a day. You said you can't do this overnight in changing an entire culture and trying to build your process. We just had that stat up from Max Olson. A great stat here, by the way. And also makes West Virginia look good, so I love that. Anytime that happens, I'm going to get excited. But you guys are on that list, top 10. Obviously, it's a lot of new coaches, new situations. We got to turn it over. 39 transfers who have 308 starts. Was that something you guys were looking for whenever you were trying to get out of the portal? We wanted guys who played football, a certain style of football. How do you kind of get to this point of being in top 10 in this particular stat?
Well, I mean, look, the high school recruiting is the draft, right? Anybody who tells you the draft is going to impact your team greatly really doesn't understand the draft. The draft is always about, in the NFL, next year's team, right? Like, we all should be talking about the Packers draft from 2024, not their 25 draft, or the Raiders draft from 24, not 25. Some guys will make an impact, there's no question, but the real mark of a draft is what happens in the second year for the player. As Coach Walsh used to say repeatedly to everybody, the first year we teach the players the system, the second year we develop the skills within the system. And so the high school recruiting is for next year's team. Will we get some production out of some kids we recruited? Yes. But the free agency is essentially the transfer portal. And that's where you have to plug and play. You've got to sign guys. We've signed Gio Lopez from South Alabama when he entered the portal, and now he's going to be our starting quarterback on Monday night. He started 2 years at South Alabama. Now he's going to start for us here at North Carolina. So those are the things that you have to solve your problems with. And having not had a recruiting base here at North Carolina, when Bill and I arrived on the 14th of December, high school recruiting was essentially done. So we're going to have to, thankfully, we had a spring portal to add a lot of players to our roster.
What is the conversations like? We knew that Bill Belichick would be quite an advantage, you would think, for certain players in the recruiting. What has it been like now for the players that have got on there? Have you noticed that you said you got full buy-in? Is that strictly because it's Bill, or how has Bill been coaching these college kids versus how he talks to the professionals? Is it a different side of him?
No, it's exactly the same. And I think what they're amazed by is his knowledge of the game. I think they all walk out of the meeting room saying, I've never heard anything like that. I've had coaches, assistant coaches, come up to me and say, I've worked for some really great coaches, and I've never heard what I just heard in that room. So I think he really, he's able to use his knowledge, his intellectual ability, the way he sees the game, which is vastly different than a lot of people see the game, and being able to transform that into a message for them to all understand. The best part, Pat, is when you walk on the campus. I'm here at the football facility, we're in the stadium, but we practice about a half a mile away at our indoor. And when you walk, you have to walk through campus to get there. The best part is when I'm walking with them and the students are walking by and they like, is that Belichick? Wait, they're stunned. They're like, they want to say something, right? But then he's gone too fast, so they've gone by. And they're like, you could just see him no, yeah.
He said that when we were in Detroit.
Steak.
It was awesome. We were at a steakhouse. Somebody was like, he walked past him.
Yep.
And the guy tried to stop him, was like, Coach, can I? No, thank you.
Yeah.
If he would have caught him, though, I think if he would have caught him beforehand, I think he would have took the photo. But he's almost like, you missed it. This is not, we are now down the street. This is how it goes. The amount of people that recognize Bill Belichick, I think he's a megastar.
Yeah.
He really is. I couldn't even imagine him on that campus, especially with how much you guys have given back to the university. Feels like you guys love being there, always have.
Yeah.
Go ahead, AJ.
Lombo,
Hey, AJ.
when you look, what's going on? When you look around around college football right now, does anybody know what kind of team they have? I mean, you know what you had in camp and everything, but until you go out there and you actually play a real game, I guess, how much can you learn from that first game? How much your guys can handle, how much they can't, and how you can actually coach and kind of, move things around compared to the NFL game?
It's really hard for me. I don't know who we are. I mean, I know who we are in terms of us against us, but that's the hard part. When you have training camp and you practice, 10 days and then you have those preseason games, you get an idea. You're able to judge your team a little bit. You know what you have. This is really foreign to me, not having any practices against some other team. And, what does the speed of the game going to look like? We're playing a TCU team that won 6 of their last 7 games. They're very effective. Josh Hoover, their quarterback, is outstanding. He's got a high percentage of completion. They don't have negative plays. Sonny Dykes has done a tremendous job since he's been at TCU. So, the history of TCU. You know what they did in their game, but you just don't know what they've added and how they've changed their team. And that's always a little bit concerning as you go into it. But like Belichick says all the time, the first quarter's for assessment in any football game. You've got to assess what they are, and I think that's what we'll have to do in this game as well.
Is he treating it the same game plan? No, you don't have to tell me. But the Patriots always had 3 game plans. That was always the thing. I assume he's just coaching the same exact way from what you said.
Exactly. It's exactly the same way. I mean, look, one thing about college is, you're not going to change. Josh Hoover's been a very good player for them. And Kendall Briles, their offensive coordinator, has done a very good job. I mean, this is a team that was 25th in the nation. They score a lot of points. They run a lot of plays. They do a good job of keeping their defense off the field. They're very good at playing from in front, which is an essential quality to winning any football game on any level. So we know what to expect from them. They have a great job of turning short passes into long gains. You've got to tackle really well. But for us, it's about really how do we play? We can't have bad plays. We can't have false starts. We can't make mistakes because we've got to be able to have 70 plays in this game. We can't. If we have 50 plays in the game, TCU will score points.
P1 matters. First play matters more, especially going against one of those teams. If you don't get any yardage on first down of the first position, you're in trouble. I mean, it is.
Yeah.
Because then that's probably 3 and out. They're getting the ball back, and they are just – and your defense gets no time, and then you're back at it. You got to slow them down, Mike. You got to slow them down. Hope you're able to do it. TCU team, very efficient. Let's talk about the team that you have and that you've been able to get. Go ahead, Tone.
Yeah, Lombo, I do want to talk about that. I want to talk about how many times have you called Michael Jordan for NIL money? Is that something that you're allowed to do, since I assume he's probably one of your biggest donors? And then also, like, with the NIL and the situation and the revenue sharing coming down the line, it hasn't fully passed yet or whatever, but have you started preparing for a situation where, it's going to be, hey, you get so much money for your team, and then on the other side, they could get the NIL?
Well, the NIL, they've kind of the rules about NIL go, and you have to process that. As for Michael Jordan, look, Michael Jordan's presence is more important than opening up his billfold. Michael Jordan involved with our program is what it matters. I mean, I have 3 jerseys in my office, right? I mean, I'm in the football office. I hung 3 jerseys on the wall here. Julius Peppers, the great Lawrence Taylor, and Michael Jordan. I mean, that's who we are. And I think, to me, him wanting to be involved, him wanting to give us the Jordan brand, which I wear every single day, that's really important, because no matter how long he's been away from the game, the kids know Michael Jordan. They know the logo, and he has a tremendous impact on them. And so financially, to me, that's more important than that. Sometimes you have to you understand the value of what a donor brings to the table, and sometimes it's just not always cash.
Yeah, Michael Jordan's presence certainly good. Yeah. Cash also helps. Just saying, in sports. I got this text from Hembo while we were talking. Shout out to Hembo. Master statistician. The Patriots had won 7 playoff games in 40 seasons before Bill Belichick arrived in 2000. They were a UNC equivalent, is what Hembo is saying. What Bill Belichick was able to turn New England into, which I think he should get a lot of credit for, and everything that he's been able to do.
He wasn't making pizzas, in spite of what some people think he was doing up there. Like, he wasn't the chef up there in New England. I mean, I know there's been documentaries and books written about he was basically working in the background.
Yeah, on that
short order cook. Yeah, I got all that. Yeah, but I mean, like, at some point, hey, I'll have 2 eggs over easy, Bill. And by the way, we'll take care of the game. Don't worry about it. Right?
Yeah. On that note,
Lombo,
Connor has a question for you.
That was awesome. As a Patriots fan, of course, what Bill said, was interesting about how the difference in coaching in college. It's all football. There's no owner. There's no owner's son. Personally, and I think most Patriots fans feel this way, Bill should take as many shots for as long as he wants after that Apple TV Dynasty documentary. So I'm glad he's getting stuff like this in, especially because of how the whole entire thing ended and how it went last year. But to your point right there, what you said, that first year, or to Hembo's stat rather, that first year in New England, it didn't go great. And then the year, I think they won 6-11 or 5-11, and the year after they won the Super Bowl. And when it comes to expectations for, Bill Belichick coach teams, aside from that one, typically every single year it was a Super Bowl. As far as like the team expectations from, Bill's point of view, from your point of view, obviously it's the first year, you got to continue to grow. But when it comes to this year, is the biggest goal, the finding out who you are, to, what you were saying when it comes to the game, is the biggest goal just seeing development in freshmen? Like, what is the mindset coming from Bill and yourself when it's college versus the NFL, when winning is the only thing that matters?
Look, everybody wants to win games, and that's great. But sometimes winning can be a little bit of a misleading instrument, where some teams win their first year and then they come back and they're not able to duplicate the winning because they haven't built the right foundation, and then all of a sudden it becomes problematic. I think for us, it's about getting better every single day. Look, the challenges that await us, we understand that, and we understand winning is part of the job that we've signed up for. It's a great job, but winning comes with it. But I think we have to lay the foundation and the process in place. We just can't assume we're going to go out and win. I mean, Nick Saban was 7-6 his first season at Alabama. Well, we've had many phone calls with Nick talking about what happened in his first year. It took him some time. Now, he didn't have the portal, right, to help him out when he was at Alabama. But what he did the next year in that recruiting class, it was Hightower, it was Julio Jones, it was some really good Mark Ingram. There were some great players that he recruited that started started his program in the right direction. And I think that's something that we have to do. We have to be very sustainable in our approach. And that's always been Bill's. I mean, look, let's face it. Connor, you know better than anybody. The Patriots, and I don't mean this as a knock towards anybody in the organization, they never were in the top 5 of spending in New England. Never. They've always maintained a certain balance with their salary cap and their building of their team because they wanted sustainable success, and that's because of the head coach.
I appreciate that Bill is committing this much to North Carolina, because to build an entire program is going to take a few years. Like, that's a long time. Everybody was assuming this was going to be a 1 year, 2 year thing, especially because where he is in his life. Seems like he has started a new chapter. You know, there's a lot of noise outside of football up there for Bill. You know that.
Yeah, I mean, it's not in the building. So that's the one thing that I can honestly say unequivocally. Our players have said that too, that noise. And I haven't seen any part of Bill's work ethic slowing down. I think it's the fact it's increased. Yeah. It's remarkable. I mean, it's remarkable how, and the attention to detail hasn't slipped away. And he's involved in every single facet of I don't think they've had a coach here, and I don't mean this disrespectful towards Mac Brown or any coach who's been here, but I don't think they've had a coach. Our players have had a coach, some coming from the portal, some being here, that have coached all 3 phases like Bill does. I mean, Bill's out there coaching the block punt team. And so, like, he's involved. And so that's part of what we sell. You're going to get a coach who's not going to be a situational game manager or call plays. You're getting a head coach.
He twirling that whistle every video. He'll be down at the punt team, and then next you'll see him twirling that thing, talking shit to some defensive guy, and then he goes over to the offense. You can't do that. You just can't with the whistle twirl. Well, just like a coach's life. He loves ball. I think that is very, very evident, as do you. I can't wait to see what you do with the college version of it all. Ty has a question about the professional version.
Yeah, Lombo, when you look at the Micah Parsons situation, if you were the Cowboys GM or you were Jerry Jones, and, you know, I don't know how much you've seen of all of that with, you know, getting ready for the game on Monday, but, you know, all the trade rumors, they're saying Green Bay's interested, they have a contract ready for him, all that kind of stuff. Jerry and Micah had the handshake deal. That's been made, you know, a big topic of conversation, obviously, because things don't really get done like that anymore when you're talking about hundreds of millions of dollars. But if you were in that situation and you were doing all that negotiating and you had to make a decision, what would you do, and how do you think this ultimately plays out?
Look, it's hard to find Micah Parsons, okay? Guys that change the game. Well, he's a Tuesday player, right? And I wrote about this in my book, Football Done Right. Tuesday players are the players that you have to worry about on Tuesday in a game plan meeting, right? And those players on Tuesday go into the Hall of Fame. I mean, that's what they are. You're sitting there, you're driving to the stadium Sunday morning, and all you're thinking about is, how am I going to block Parsons? How am I going to handle him in protection? What am I going to do? He's the game plan set up for him. You know, Pat, you had Dwight Freeney. When he went out of the game, we're taking shots down the field, right? When he's in the game, we can't do this, this, and this. That's a Hall of Fame player. And I think that's what Parsons is as well. Now, to me, you know, Jerry has always been late to sign guys. And because of his ability to talk and to convince players, I mean, look, we're in an age now where I can't have a meeting with a player here at North Carolina without someone else in the room so we can validate exactly what happened, because I don't want to play the I said, you said, she said, he said. I don't want to play that game. And I think you got to be very careful about that, especially when it comes to your locker room. So, look, Jerry's found a way to get through it with Dak Prescott. He's not done it. He's been late to the party to sign him, and now he's at $60 million. But he seems to enjoy it. But I think at this point in his life, the best thing he can do is to get him signed to a long-term contract without having to franchise him for 2 years and having to pay an awful freight to keep him on the roster. Everybody's going to be interested in the guy. I mean, who has pass rushers that can change the game? I mean, that's Lane Johnson we're walking. He's just walked right back there. That guy's a really good player. So he's a hot commodity, and he can tilt the game. And I think what we saw with the Cowboys traded for Charles Haley back in the day, they won Super Bowls after they got Haley. This is the kind of player we're talking about.
Hembo sent me a stat. Most sacks on...
I love Hembo.
Jeez. Hembo.
Love you, Hembo. Love you, Hembo.
Hembo. Hambone, too, we're big fans of. Yeah. Most sacks on a team after getting traded there. In third, John Abraham, 68.5 sacks for the Falcons. In second, Chandler Jones, 71.5 sacks for the Cardinals. And the most sacks in the history after being traded to a team, Jared Allen, 85.5 for the Vikings.
Let's go.
So there has been, and I think Reggie White was traded to.
He was like the
free agent.
First free agent signing, like big one.
Schneid said yesterday it was a trade. Yeah. So Schneid's need to tighten up.
Yeah, it does.
Okay, Schneid, your boots on the ground. I'm taking what you're saying for verbatim there. But Jared Allen going there and having that career, I only remember him as a Viking, obviously.
Yes.
Like, that can happen. And Jerry doesn't want that for Micah.
No, he does not.
He's going to be Peyton Manning was only shown in a Denver Broncos uniform for a long time after he retired.
Yeah.
Okay. Jim Irsay and the boys had to build a statue for him here in Indianapolis for people to like remember that he played for the Colts. And he was here for like 18 years.
And won a Super Bowl.
And it was like, it's that Jerry doesn't want Micah playing anywhere else. But Jerry has also said that his mouth has gotten him into a lot of borrowed money.
Yeah.
I'm too good at getting borrowed money. I was $50 million in debt, actually. And then his one oil rig that he paid $800,000 for hit.
Yep.
I made $100 million just off of that rig. I knew exactly what I was doing. I was buying Dallas Cowboys.
Said Jerry?
All that's true. Pat, all that documentary about Jerry, all that stuff is true. And I lived it. I experienced it, not because I worked for the Cowboys, but we played in 1989. We were getting ready to play the Buffalo Bills in a conference game, a divisional round. And back in 89, there were no places to practice indoors. Nobody had an indoor facility like we all have now. And so you typically had to go somewhere. So the Browns, we used to go to Vero Beach to practice at Dodger Town, but that was being used. So we went to the Cowboys facility. And Jerry had just bought the team. And the building, he moved everybody into half of the building because he didn't want to pay the heat cost for the entire building because he was so leveraged out on everything. So he just practically moved, and now people were in 2 offices and shared it. It was unbelievable. And then he changed the game completely when he gave Jimmy Johnson that contract, and he took all the money from Apex and said, "Here, Jimmy, all the money I just got from Apex, I'm going to give it to you." That changed the game. That changed the game. That's why he belongs in the Hall of Fame for what he's done for the league in terms of the value he put. The money you made in your career, a lot of it's contributed to Jerry Jones. There's no question about that. His ability to see the game moving forward. But this issue on Parsons is a separate issue.
Yeah, the Parsons stuff might be just drama that he loves, which is a part of his business plan.
Yeah.
He has actually said that that's a part. The Cowboys aren't scared to be in the middle of a little bit of controversy. Don't you worry about what the Cowboys are doing here. I was told by somebody kind of in the know in the NFL world, one Jerry Jones in the league was a necessity. If there was 32 Jerry Jones, our league would be over. Is that like one was a necessity?
Well, at the time when he came in, he was the Steve Jobs of the NFL. He came in with a different idea, a marketing strategy that no one else knew. If you see pictures, and happy birthday to Coach Parcells last week, you see pictures of Coach Parcells on the sideline next to Belichick. Coach Parcells is wearing an Apex jacket, and Belichick's wearing a starter jacket. And they were each making a little bit of money, not a lot, from each company. And Jerry said, enough of that. I own the sideline. Here's what we're going to do. And now the owners own the sideline.
Yeah, Reebok deal and then Nike deal.
Nike, yeah.
And then this whole, yeah. And now they're a cash cow.
Yes.
I was in $50 million in debt, to be clear. Now, most valuable franchise in the history of sports. It's a hell of an American dream story, brother.
Got $700 million from the NFL.
Unbelievable. All right, Lombo, good luck down there. We can't wait to watch.
Thank you, guys. I'll see you Friday. I'll see you Monday night, Monday afternoon. We got a lot of people in the house. Can't wait to have you. Hope to see you.
Yeah, I can't wait to be down there, man. I was asked if I wanted to do it, and I was like, Lombo and Bill.
You got to come here.
Absolutely.
You got to come here for the game. We got musical. I mean, I hear this. We got musical talent coming down here. The great Eric Church is a huge UNC fan. Hopefully he's going to show up with his bus, and maybe he'll play a little Springsteen for us.
Oh, is he?
I don't know. I can't answer that.
Oh, the Springsteen movie.
Just put a little public push on him a little bit.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah. You're the man. All right, Paisan, good luck.
Thanks, guys.
Bye-bye. Michael Lombardi.
Lambo.
Springsteen. Is that on Monday?
Jordan coming? Is Jordan doing the coin toss?
Probably.
Michael?
Lawrence Taylor might be there, too.
Yeah, I was thinking Michael. Michael, right?
Oh, you're a different one.
Oh, you're thinking Jordan.
Yeah.
Potentially.
Ooh, right.
Is that pronounced Jordan, though, I assume?
I
With
think,
Theo, or is it Jordan?
I don't think so.
Because every time you read it, it's hard not to say
I've been saying
Jordan.
That's what I've been saying.
because it is D-O-N. Normally you see A-N there. Whatever the case, she's in a lot of headlines all the time. And it's not what we expect from a Bill Belichick-led thing, but Bill Belichick's living his life. And if Lombardi's saying, hey, inside the football, we're still doing our thing, I'm excited to see what the team is. I mean, it's a lot to just build a culture, flip a culture. We're going to be joined here soon by a guy who's doing it again at a school that he went to. He's an alumni of, and he's being tasked with flipping an entire culture back to what it actually is, you know, representing an entire state of just tough. Like, that is literally what it is. And this guy had a
Hachimaki
on the other day, hard edge bandana. Just letting you know, I'm a samurai of tough. If you would like to come learn from a sensei, I am the guy. If you are tough and you are athletic, we want you here at West Virginia. Now, it's going to be hard. Shit ain't gonna be easy. You're gonna have to be tough, but that is what hard edge is all about. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us now is one of the greatest football coaches of all time. I was very lucky to have him as a college football coach, and now he's back at West Virginia University, the home of tough. Ladies and gentlemen, Coach Rod.
Yeah,
Hey, Pat, where did you get that funky picture at? I swore to Raquel, I said, I don't remember taking that picture and putting a headband on, but somehow it got circulated. I look like an idiot, but
no, this is a good thing, not a bad thing. You are a hard-edged samurai, Coach. You are. Hey, how are you doing, boss? How's life over there?
It's good. Camp was good. You know, I still have my voice. You know, the first week was really tough, but I'm proud of our guys. You know, it's different. You know, Pat, it's a different type of challenge. You know, no matter what coach or what system you bring in, and we're going to be demanding. And I'm proud of the way they hung in there. They're, you know, now I got to see what we have. You know, we got to play a game and find out what we really have. But from an attitude standpoint, a culture standpoint, I don't think we're 100% there. But we're a lot further along than we were a month ago and 6 months ago.
Okay, so let's talk about it a lot further along. Whenever you get the job, you understand that nowadays an entire building is not just the team and assistant coaches. There's everybody in the building now. We got nutritionists, dietitians, trainers, massage, everything. That's a nice facility over there from whenever we were there the last time. That is a very beautiful, upgraded facility. But the entire building has to kind of buy into your culture. How has that been? Because obviously I think the way Neil Brown coached, no offense to Neil Brown, I appreciate what he did for West Virginia University, spent a lot of time in Morgantown, but the way he coached, vastly different than the way you coach and the way you run a program. How has that been? How has it settled in? Was there like a little bit of a culture shock, or do you think everybody's kind of figured it out pretty good?
I think it was going to be a little bit of shock no matter who came in and did their own system. But what's funny, pals, we took the team picture here, you know, a couple weeks ago, and there was as many people in white polo shirts on the staff as there was in uniform. I mean, I couldn't believe all that. I was embarrassed because I didn't know everybody's name. I'm like, there's 100 we're feeding 250 people every day in our building. So that's why our food cost is so high. But
we could probably pay some players, you know, we take some of these polos out of here.
And football staffers and football players don't eat like normal people. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's normal people out here. No, there's a loaf of bread for one guy might last a day. A gallon of milk ain't going for 2 days. You know, it's crazy. But I'm really fortunate to have it. You know, I think it's, you know, West was changed before when I got a staff picture when I was first here when you were playing for us. You know, there's like 10 coaches and 4 GAs and like 3 administrators and 1 strength coach, right? Now that's the recruiting room. You know, that's it. So it's a little different dynamic. And so you have more, I guess you have to have more people buy into the culture or help you teach the culture than ever before. And that's the part I'm really pleased about, that the staff really has not only, you know, they got to buy in, they got no choice, right? But the staff has really helped me establish that part.
Go ahead, AJ.
Coach, what do you like? First game, you said we got to see what we have, like what kind of team we are. What are you expecting? What are like some non-negotiables that you have for your team that, for especially the first week, you want to see and see how they execute?
Well, the easy answer is don't loaf and don't be soft. But that's kind of a standard for anything. But now that's you don't go live that much in practice. You know, you're a couple scrimmages and a couple practices, you'll be live or almost live. But in the games, it's all full go on. And so, you know, you'll see who plays a little bit faster in game time, who's a little bit more physical in game time. Are the lights too big or whatever? And, you know, some guys, you think you know what you have. And you guys know this. You guys played at the highest level. There are certain guys that do play or rise to a level when there's a game, and some guys maybe don't. And until you play a game, you got to figure that out. I wish we had a preseason game. It'd be easier to kind of guesstimate what you have. But at the same time, these guys have worked hard enough. They've earned the right to show what they can do. and then we'll see what happens. We're going to play a lot of people this weekend.
I don't know if play a lot of people. I like that. That's a little piece of information and a nugget to find out who you have. I know the depth chart conversation has certainly been hilarious with you, and why would you ever put a depth chart out, especially when you don't know what you have? And the implications are very serious, especially with how transferring and everything kind of works these days. And I think you like the entire room in most rooms. On that note, you brought up the preseason there. I don't know if a preseason game will ever get approved, but it feels like the scheduling and how kind of Power 4 conference football is changing right in front of our eyes. I think people aren't scared to get a loss maybe early in the season, so maybe they'll play a little bit bigger games. You're a guy I know that will play anybody. Now, I know the Alabama thing just kind of ended, but you are literally let's fight in the park. We'll play. Let's play you. How do you feel about where college football is right now with the college football playoff and how it's designed and set up? And was that a big part of you coming back to the Big 12 or back to one of these power conferences in West Virginia?
Well, how college football is, it's a cluster. I better not say the last word, but but I think there's efforts to make it better. I still think, I'm giving you my opinion, I still think there's a separation that's about to come where there's going to be 50 or 60 Power 4 schools that have their own league, and then everybody else is separate because there's just so many different dynamics in play now, money, financially, what the commitments to programs, what they can do going forward and all that. And so we're running a professional league now. And so as many professional rules that we can follow, which the NFL is obviously the most successful pro organization there is, we got to follow that. So if we're going to follow an NFL model for fairness and equity, we need to get those rules established like right now. Now, people can complain about the NFL all they want. You guys know this. There's fines and there's consequences for not following the rules and all that. In college, there's still not that. And so I think all that's going to have one aspect. But I can sit here and bitch about it. Right now, I'm saying, what am I going to do? What good does it do to me to bitch about? What's the rules right now? What do we got to do to win on these rules? And what can we control? What we can control is our guys playing really hard, playing with passion, all right, and being disciplined. And so this first game, I was on our guys yesterday. I said, we can't have pre-snap penalties. We can't have guys holding. When you hold, you're lazy. That's it. If you loaf, you're a traitor. You play for the other team. So I don't want lazy people, and I don't want traitors. You know what I mean? And so that's not being like a jerk, and I could be a jerk, but that's not being a jerk. That's just being a team, a disciplined team, in my opinion.
If you are loafing, you are a traitor. You are playing for the other team. You are wasting a spot on the field right now, and you are contributing.
Yeah, we've got 10. We've got 10 against 12. If we got two guys loafing, it's 9 against 11 or 13.
They gain, it's you are a wordsmith. You are one of my favorite humans I've ever encountered, as you know. The way you would put words together, and how you're a psychologist. And you say hard edge, hard nose, accountability, discipline, like what you taught me and our entire team, we all have carried into our life. I think about your West Virginia Southern fucking accent saying something to me on a very regular basis whenever something pops up in life. And I think once you get the guys in there that understand that and can buy into it, I think the opportunities in the sky is the actual limit. On that note, Tone has a question for you, Coach.
Yeah, Coach, obviously you coming from Jack State and a lot of your coaches coming from Jack State and instilling that culture is huge. But how important is it, the guys that you brought, the players that you brought, I think it's like 6 to 8, somewhere around that range of guys that you brought over from Jack State that are in the locker room every day, that are around the other players every day? How important are those guys to instill the culture with the team?
Well, we thought that's part of the reason we thought, well, they're good players, but two, they could help the guy explain to the guys, hey, coach ain't that crazy. It's really a method that we're doing to help these guys be the best version of themselves. But even those guys, I had to get on a little bit, of course, which tells you that it's a constant thing. You have to do that daily. Now, there are some guys that get it. You never have to say a thing, but there's other guys you have to fight it every day. I mean, you really have to fight it every day. So it's not a once in a while thing that you ask for in your players. It's an everyday thing. And then once it truly becomes established and ingrained in your program, so to speak, then the only guys you got to teach are the 30 or whatever, 25 new guys going forward every year.
51, 70, 100 new guys. So many new guys.
70. Somebody told me the number was 79. I'm like, damn, no wonder I don't know all their names.
Yeah, it's a lot of players. Signetti did this, though. Is that something you guys are looking at, like a blueprint?
I did look a little bit at what he did there and had some. He brought a lot more guys in from JMU and were immediate help and all that kind of stuff. But we did think about that a little bit. He brought production as opposed to potential, I guess you would say, and that's the same thing everybody wants. Not that we won't take a Power 4 transfer, or it's got to be the right fit no matter where it is. But there were a lot of guys for us that we thought, we were looking for a move up, or looking for opportunity on a bigger stage. And so they had a different type of reasoning or hunger as opposed to that. The guys that were looking for just a bigger payday, we weren't going to get that guy. That guy's not, plus that's not the mindset that we're going to build the culture around anyways.
On that, Ty has a question for you, Coach.
Yeah, so speaking of that mindset, Coach, when you go out and you're recruiting, whether it's, high school kids that might be coming or it's prospective people in the transfer portal, how long does it take you to identify, like, okay, this is a kid that actually will fit into the culture when you maybe haven't had him in your building or, anything like that?
Yeah, you have to ask hard questions. I think any coach will tell you that. I mean, it's all about, I know Coach Saban said this, and I've been saying it for the last few years. You're going to buy guys, you got to buy the right players, right? Some schools have been buying them for years, but
whoa,
that's the truth. Knows that. But the truth is, you better. Evaluation is always the biggest piece. People realize, and if a 5-star is probably a 5-star, you're probably not going to miss on too many of those, because if you're rated as so-called 5-star, you're probably so dynamic that it's hard to screw that up. But everything else is a little bit of a crapshoot if you don't really evaluate, not just his talent and his size, speed, and all that kind of stuff, size and all that, but does he really love football? Right now you're getting a lot of guys that play football in high school and college that like it, not love it. I want the dudes that love it and need it. So if you take it away from them, it bothers them. I don't want the guy that loves how many likes he gets on TikTok or whatever it is.
You hate that. Yeah, you hate that. Yeah, we know that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind if that's like a side hobby, but how many likes he's got is more important than beating a block to get a sack or high pointing the ball in a jump ball situation or whatever the case may be. That's the wrong dude. I want the dude that just, says, hey, Coach, we get to practice today. Not that we have to practice today. We get to. That's what I want.
Yeah, and you just saying, does he love football? Like, I just went back to so many moments of you, because everybody on your teams, and you've probably been told this, have had a moment where they all looked at each other and go, Jesus Christ, man, this guy is getting after it. And the weight room is a massive piece of it. And I've heard great things out of the weight room too, because it's like every day is on. I had the incredible opportunity to be a drill instructor for the Marines in this movie called The Mosquito Bowl. Well, the book is called The Mosquito Bowl. The movie's being filmed right now in Australia. Peter Berg's directing it. There is awesome dudes across the entire thing, and watching them become not just actors but actual team behind the scenes as they're representing the greatest generation and college football in this movie that is going to be, phenomenal from what I have seen thus far. It's like what drill instructors, when I went down to Paris Island to watch them and learn from them, as I was depicting them in a movie that was going to be seen by a lot of people, these are the baddest motherfuckers on earth. These dudes they don't sleep. They're expected to be perfect every single day. They are supposed to stay on these Marine shit every single moment, basically. And these recruits are, not worthy of being Marines at the beginning. And then once they get through boot camp, it's almost like you've earned your stripes and you have kind of dealt with and went through what a drill instructor has given you for 13 weeks. Nowadays, back then it was 7 to 8 weeks because they're in wartime. So it was all kind of much quicker. As I was learning about these drill instructors, all I thought to myself was Rich Rodriguez would have been a phenomenal drill instructor. I mean, absolutely.
I was just on my team yesterday about discipline. I was talking about penalties, pre-snap penalties, holding because you're lazy, not moving your feet, whatever, or discipline, in your work ethic, whatever it is. I said, discipline is a form of love. It's what you do for somebody, not at somebody. But nowadays it's tougher because you discipline somebody and they're like, he don't like me anymore, or what have you. It's like, no, if I didn't like you, I wouldn't even pay attention to you. You'd never hear. I tell the guys, I probably said it to you before.
Oh, yes.
When the day you start screwing up and I don't say something to you, that's when I gave up on you. And I ain't giving up on nobody. And surely I wasn't going to give up on you. And I didn't have to worry about that too much. But some of these other guys, it's like, you yell at them, they're looking at you. I said, listen, I'm doing it for your benefit. I don't never say that nice. But anyway.
You are great. You are. Just know that when you watch this movie that I'm in, know that I drew a lot of inspiration from like your attention to detail. And also the way that you are trying to get everybody to their best version. Like you said that earlier, but that is legitimately what it is. You just have your way of doing it. Now, there are other ways to do it. I don't think I've ever seen a successful operation not be accountable, not be disciplined. Like all the traits that you pitch are the traits that make a successful anything, business, team, you can name it. So I want to thank you for being my college football coach and for, changing me. And you mentioned it in the press conference, and I texted you immediately afterwards seeing it because I think you didn't want to like step out of line where you're like, if you see Pat, like Pat works his ass off. I think he learned some stuff from our, program. It's like, yes, you can absolutely say that. I learned a lot through your program about how I should approach life, how I should view life, work ethic, what I should expect, all those things. So you should be taking a lot of credit for that. You should not feel like you can't do that.
Well,
so I'm very appreciative.
But here's the point with Pat McAfee and some others of your teammates and other people, that you have on your show, whatever. Is they not only have that, but they have a certain level of competitiveness that they want to do whatever you want them to do. The discipline, the work ethic, and all that. And so that competitiveness piece of it, I think, is sometimes not looked at as much as well. The kids are, I think, naturally competitive. But the most highly successful ones, like yourself and everybody else that you have around you, they're the ultra competitives. You know what I mean? They'll race you to the water fountain, for crying out loud. I mean, if there's one piece of steak over there and there's 20 yards, I'm going to beat the shit out of him to get to it. I mean, everything's keeping score. You know what I mean? And some people say, well, it's not right nowadays. You lose, it's this participation trophy thing. Like, are you shitting me? You know what I mean? No, there's a winner and there's a loser. And, if you don't get the participation trophy, then try harder next year,
Yeah, work harder. Work harder building up to it. You didn't earn it. Sports are a meritocracy. And they always will be. What you do in the dark when nobody's watching will certainly be seen in the light when everybody's watching. And what you and your team have done, which we already know, anybody that's been through your shit, we know the boys are going to be ready. And we know that you guys are ready to fight. I can't wait to watch your team. Maybe see you in a couple weeks.
Yeah, we hope. We hope so.
Yeah, let's take care of business. Let's not be fucking, hey, we need today.
Right now I'm worried about getting the first down in the first play of practice here in about 2 hours. And then I'll take it from there.
I asked him this morning, AJ, when I called him. I said, Coach, how you doing? He said, fuck, just trying to get a first down.
That shit's harder than ever now. You know what I mean? Golly, it's like I'm speaking a foreign language still. That first year, I mean, and I got a lot of one-word calls. I'm like, if I had one of these West Coast offenses where you had like 18 sentences to make a play call, we'd be screwed without, with no hope whatsoever. I got a bunch of one-word calls. You'd think they'd be able to handle it.
Hey, speaking of handling it, hold on. I want to go back to a video that I broke down. I wasn't there. I don't know if you've seen my breakdown of the video that hit the internet. This was certainly equipment manager wearing the ref stripes, not spotting the ball accurately. Is that what this was?
I think it was, no, I don't think it was the equipment manager. I think it was one of the staff members, one of the coaches. I have one of the coaches in charge of being like the umpire or the center judge to spot the ball quickly. And for whatever reason, he was just not paying attention, and it cost us about 10 seconds. And I was like, that's 10 seconds I'll never get back. I'll be sitting on my deathbed and wish I had 10 more seconds to live. But because they screwed the drill up, I'll never get that 10 seconds back.
You're the greatest. I'm happy you haven't changed. Good luck. I'll see you soon. Take care of business. Ladies and gentlemen, the founder of Hard Edge. Rich
Thanks,
Rodriguez.
guys.
Hey, Rich. I'll be laying on my deathbed, and I'll think, I wish I had 10 more seconds. Do you know where they went? You, spotting the ball in the wrong place. I'm telling you, when I was watching those Paris Island drill instructors, these unbelievable men and women, just the baddest humans on earth. Limited sleep, maximum energy, full attention all the time, have to be perfect. It's like, to play that in a movie is absurd. Like, they're going to be so mad at my version of it. Like, I understand there's going to be many drill instructors who have sacrificed their entire lives to creating Marines for extended periods of time. I mean, it is a full commitment. Families, what is that? Like we are in this with this platoon right here. It's like honor of a lifetime. But as I'm watching them and the way they were speaking, and then I watched them film, obviously, We watch R. Lee from Full Metal Jacket and everything like that. The way they talk, it's a lot of promos, and it's like they're trying to get their point across, and it's like not exactly everybody's saying the same things. They're cutting promos in there to try to crack through, to try to break through, to try to touch an emotional nerve. They are trying to get to that to let you know, like, hey, everything you've learned before getting here, like, does not matter. We're the Marines. We're the first to fight, and you are not going to be a Marine unless you are a bad motherfucker. Like, that is just what the Marines are. That's what they stand for. And the culture is the drill instructor. So as I'm watching and listening to these drill instructors, I'm like, Rich Rodriguez missed his calling, man. This is, every day there's something you can fix. Because even when they're standing perfectly, they're not. Your feet aren't at 45 degrees. They're at 46 degrees. You need to go ahead and move that shit. You're standing upright. Nope, you're not enough. You fucking need to extend that spine a little bit more. Like, there's always something to fix because it's like you're always striving. You have never made it. That is Rich Rod to a T. Like, yesterday, have the greatest practice of all time. He's coming in the next day. That was shit. Absolute shit. We're watching the things that were bad, and then we're going into it. It's like, with that being said, I think that's always going to win, you know? Like, it's always going to end up winning. Like, I think if he would have stayed at Michigan a little bit longer, I think he probably would have won. I think he would have started winning. At Arizona, I think he started winning. Jacksonville State, he takes them from not D1 to D1, wins conference. It's like those intangibles win in the sport of football. Toughness, accountability, being a good teammate, like that matters in our sport. So, like, whenever Rich Rod gets hired back to West Virginia, I think everybody that was at West Virginia when Rich Rod was there was like, all right, we're going to win. We're going to win games. Are we going to win it all in this modern world with how much money some people have versus what we have? Maybe not, but are we going to be a tough football?
Big 12?
Yeah, we're going to be a tough football team, and it's going to be fun to watch. You know, AJ, it's like a cool feeling.
And Rich Rod even said that. And he's like, it's every day. Like, you got to stay on it. It's true. It's like a parenting. If you're a parent, like, if you let a kid get away with a tiny little bit, like, they're going to continue to try to push and push. And your team, I think a bad thing for a team is if they're comfortable. Like, a team should never really be comfortable. I know, at least as a player, dude, I never felt comfortable. You should never be comfortable. And sometimes you wish you were, but then you're like, no, like, we don't, that's not how it works. You have to be on everything every single day, and you can't let anything slip.
Meetings at 2:00. Okay, you better be in there 1:50 because that meeting's starting anywhere between 1:50 and 2:00. So if you're anything after 1:50, you're late. And you're sitting there and you're facing the front. Okay, we're facing the front. We are not, you're not just hanging out. And we're not just
having study hall.
Hey, how was it last night? We're in a fucking team meeting right now. This is, we have a reason. And then he would walk in whenever, 1:54, through the back. And it was like, as soon as he walked in, it was everybody was like, all right, well, here we go. We have no idea. We have no idea what's about to happen here. He could throw us a bone, which is exactly what they call it, I think, on Paris Island. When you throw somebody a bone, like, let them just have like a little bit of moment. He could throw us a bone. Hey, guess what, boys? Go to the pool. It's like, holy shit. We thought we were running the hill potentially there. Like, always guessing, you know, never content, always striving. And, oh, yeah, we can get better than we were yesterday. That's why I hope he wins. I do. I hope he gets a chance because I think he's done it in a way that is a winning way in football. And it is like, you feel for the people that have gone through a Rich Rodriguez football program. Like the guys that went through with Neil Brown and Dana Holgerson in West Virginia, certainly respected your Mountaineers. I do. We didn't have a lot in common though, because you didn't have to go through Barwis Beach in this. I know you didn't, because I've been watching the videos of what you guys been doing. We were damn near death every day. Like that is what we were. And those rules were a little bit different back then. And watching that team and kind of watching it build and watching him just be the alpha of the room and us rallying sometimes against him, almost like, fuck this guy. Like, this guy has no idea. He doesn't care. He wants that. Like, that is a part of the entire mission. It's like they're going to win at West Virginia. And I'm honored that they have selected me for the Hall of Fame. And I'm pumped that Rich is back there. It's going to be electrifying this fall, I think, personally. Maybe not this year.
Coaching's back. I think coaching's back. Rich Rod style-ish. I think it's coming back a little bit.
Matt Rule, too, same thing. We're not doing TikTok, please.
No.
Go on, get it out of there. I think it is. That's always been the style that wins. Some coaches just are a little bit better with the media, I think. You know, like Andy Reid.
Some are louder than others, I think. Some are louder. That's all it is.
Nobody expects Andy Reid. Andy Reid is, he's not swearing like Rich Rod, but it is still the same.
Who's that Arizona State coach, the young guy?
Dillingham.
Feels like he's just like that as well.
He's great.
Yeah, it's hey, you have to. Like, this is a developmental thing. Like, you are boys to men. ABC. We'll be back tomorrow, live from Columbus, Ohio. AJ and I will be over there. Going to kick off a beautiful weekend in Ohio as college football week 1 is about to exhilarate the world. See you then. Nailed it.
Well done.
Hell yeah.
Well done.
I have to go to the bathroom. Let's take a break, and then we'll wrap up the show on the other side. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice that might change their life. Take 5.
We're still bringing it.
I light every bridge I see here just to watch it burn. If you've seen all the hell I've seen, it make your stomach turn. I think you know why I do what I do when I do.
Started with 133 teams vying for one of these coveted 12 spots for this 12-team playoff, and it came down to 2 teams in the great state of Indiana kicking this entire thing off.
I try. I might drink a little, I might smoke a lot, counting down the good times, staring down the clock, throw some.
The best year of college football that it's ever had is about to have the greatest playoff it's ever had, and it all starts right here in front of Touchdown Jesus and his beautiful Irish people. And I think if you say, "Go Irish!" Be Hoosiers! They'll do that all night. If you make this kick, I will double his kick to $500,000. I will also donate $250,000 to a charity of Chris Daly's choosing. Yeah, let it go, man.
Oh, God.
Not terrible. Not terrible. Proud of you. One kick, $750,000. The Lord is watching you. Man down. Man down.
That's all right.
$1 million. And there's a bunch of that have invaded. There's a lot of them.
We don't just beat top 25 teams, we beat the shit out of them.
Okay. Google him.
But one thing you didn't learn from me is talking all the shit you talk.
Welcome to the most electrifying atmosphere in all of sport. I know European soccer fans are wild. That's like 30 to 60,000. You're about to see all weekend 100,000 plus bananas atmosphere, and that is one part of the reason why college ball is so damn great. Why are the girls here?
Is this not a fun show? No. Serious show? Serious football. Alabama Jones is very serious.
You know, he was trying to be funny, which I get it. And, you know, my daughter Kristen loves him, so that's kind of soothed the soul a little bit that somebody in our family likes the guy.
I choose to believe in front of Touchdown Jesus and everybody looking down. IU gets a massive win over Notre Dame. Shane, I'm sorry.
You're a real scumbag. I thought Coach Cignetti coming out here was a real disgrace to the game. He left his players in the locker room to go get some camera time for himself. I know a legend like yourself would never do something like that. Would you?
No.
No, it's disgusting. I saw it. I thought, wow, what a sad, disgusting program. Notre Dame by 1 million. Go Irish.
Riley Leonard and the Irish from their own 2. Jeremiah Love breaks free. Jeremiah Love trying to go 98. Touchdown!
Might be fiction for a blowout here, fellas.
Couldn't wait to get to the wonderful state of OH! OH! In the SEC, coming up to the Big Ten, when it's cold as hell, we shall settle the conversation here in beautiful Columbus. Coach, that hairline, you get a haircut every day?
Not every day. Not every day.
Big beard, big boot, Peters in tow, 500. Oh, this guy sucks. Holy hell. This guy's the worst we've ever seen. Just took out the Ohio State cheerleaders. $1 million here, JD level. Yep, this guy sucks at kicking butt. We appreciate the hell out of you, JD.
Hey, Jay,
He has once wiped 100 times.
What? Wiped what?
Yeah, 100 times. There are actually people out there, psychos obviously, that like the non-frosted Pop-Tarts. Gary's mother, one of the best football players I've ever been around. Non-frosted strawberry Pop-Tarts.
I like non-frosted Pop-Tarts.
I like non-frosted Pop-Tarts.
Now, I, at one point this year, was the mayor of Compton.
You were the mayor?
Mayor of Compton, yeah. They voted me in there, and this is my
How do you become the mayor of Compton?
You just got to go around and say, listen, I heart cock. I heart cocks. Sorry, numerous. Whenever we found out that there was going to be a college football playoff game in Columbus, Ohio, we were all jacked up to see this Ohio State faithful be showcased to the entire world about how much they love football. Then we walked out here to this game day set this morning, and it was like, Rocky Top, you'll always be home, sweet home to me. Rocky Top, Rocky Top. Well, in that song, they say it's home. Home for me is the North, and the cold is going to be Dahn. Give me the Ohio State Buckeyes representing for the Big Ten. How cool was Sean Perkins, the Ohio State football team, for allowing us to hang out in their facility pretty much all day Saturday? They had 5 TVs set up, a bunch of recliners. Roosters supplied some phenomenal food. Arctic temperatures. AJ Hawkins all toe warmers. Gary's mother from South Florida. Please fucking in for it. You can check up on about first quarter, fourth quarter. It's all we want. It's all we It is. Hand off on the count. In the open field, Trey Hendrickson is scoring another touch for the Ohio State Buckeyes. The story of the game thus far is Chip Kelly is going mad dummy, bruh. All of Ohio is excited. They were singing long ice cold beer never broke my heart. First read, second read, third read, scramble, ball on the ground, check down. Tennessee fan or a chair near Morgan Wallen because they have no hope right now. Will Howard, 101. Check. Jeremiah Smith.
By and large, these games have absolutely stunk, Pat.
Peter Herbstreit raising an absolute hell.
A couple people up here with that smoky orange face paint on that are feeling like real assholes right now.
As we look to the exits, and the Volunteers fans are saying, get my ass back to the South. This one's over. Bounces it. Touchdown, Ohio State. Boys, that was wide ass open. He's got left hand. 500 drones. Ones that we know about. This game's over, but we're still bringing it.
Thanks, Pat! Take it back, baby! Thanks, Pat!
Thanks, Pat!
Thanks, Pat! Thank you, Pat!
obviously in the middle of a transition era, but we go back in time into a movie-like setting to battle in the Big Ten to see who gets to move on and who goes home. Our UFO just flew over top B-2 smoke bomber and in the national anthem. And on a day in the United States of America where a heinous act has happened, it's a nice reminder that we'll get your ass. You might take a shot, but you're never gonna win. And 10 for Will Howard. Same exact play action. Drops it off to Jeremiah Smith. With space. He's a monster. Jeremiah Smith. First touch is a touchdown. Time. Shot down the middle. Puka. Ooh, touchdown.
See the split safeties right here. So Will Howard knows his read, looks him off, steps up in the pocket. Great throw.
Takes a shot. And what happens? Jeremiah Smith comes up with the ball. Handoff. Run to the left. Jordan James. Will Howard, time. Oh, no. Jeremiah Smith's wide ass open. And that's a touchdown. Ohio State is kicking the living shite out of the Oregon Ducks. If Jeremiah Smith is on your team, I think you can win every game. Travion Henderson. He's at the 30, the 20, the 10. Touchdown. They can run it. They can spin it. They can kick it. This Buckeyes team is playing football at a level nobody else in the country is playing right now. Now there's a low snap. Goes left, throws back to the right. Jeremiah Smith's on the field. So that's another first down. Thus far, this game has been absolutely shite. Step it. Oh my God. That is so beautiful. You got Matt Hardy on the left there. AJ, chance.
I see it at the 47. Unfortunately, my youngest son puked all over himself, went to the hospital, so my whole family's not here anymore to hear that. No. But I'm getting some updates every once in a while. He seems to be doing not much better. He puked over the whole section. Jeez. Instant urgent care, instant hospital.
Oh, no.
What type of shite was he eating? Is someone making salmon down here? We came down here and smelled like fish. Look at this.
For those that have never been here, I would recommend coming and checking it out. Although this particular game was absolute shite. Woo!
Let's go. This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for.
McAfee on the line with a gorgeous assist.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers. You pig! Stop! Damn it! Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life. Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this hard-edged Thursday, August 28th, 2025. Hour 3 of the program begins now. Football is the greatest. AJ, if you loaf, you're a traitor. Okay?
It's true. It's true. There's all. Do you guys have different forms of loaves as well? Like we get graded. There's a turn it down loaf if you turn it down. There's a speed up loaf if you're running. All of a sudden you change your speed. Yeah, all that stuff.
No, people were getting loafs when they weren't loafing. I think back whenever at West Virginia. I mean, he's looking for treason. You know, he is certainly going to find it too. If you loaf, you're a traitor. If you hold, you're lazy. I don't want lazy traitors on this team. Nope. What a line, dude. He was electrifying as a head coach. I mean, that is just like putting it mildly. Every year at the end of training camp, I would host a gong show of sorts that the freshmen would put together. And I would be Rich Rodriguez at the end of that thing. And I would just say things that he had said in the past year. I would write his shit down. So like literally throughout the year, things would happen. And I'd be like, locking that one down. Like if you're a trainer, that would have been immediately like, yup, putting that down. And in this time, at the end of the Gong Show, I would come out, Stone Cold Steve Austin from the back like he does for the team meetings, because like different groups of freshmen would do their show or whatever, and then I would come out, and at the very end, I came out like Stone Cold Steve Austin, glass break, did the entire thing, and I won on. That was probably my first time really doing a performance, if I had to say, and that was a tough room. Okay, we had a tough team. That's a tough room. We got people literally from Compton, South Florida, Ohio, you name it. We got people from all over the map in that room. And they're all just getting done with training camp. And it's a Rich Rodriguez training camp, so that's a tough fucking room. I mean, that is a tough room right there. So I got in there and got some pops out of that entire thing. Felt like I was on top of the world. And then Rich Rod would come up immediately afterwards and, did I get it right, babe, motherfucker? And then we're right into it. I mean, he's so funny, dude. His brain, football-wise and motivation-wise, is just always, we'd see him 5 a.m. He's on the fucking stepper, the stepping machine or whatever. Calves just outrageous.
Popping.
Just right through. Wouldn't stop. We're working out down there 6 a.m. with Barwis, which is maybe the greatest strength coach of all time. He's getting people with paralysis to walk now. I mean, just like, so honored to know him, but he was, I mean, that shit was not, those were some tough days. Those were some very tough mornings there where you're questioning a lot of things. Football, fuck this sport. I could go play soccer again right now. I stopped soccer because I didn't want to run. And now I'm going through the hardest work. Is this the hardest workout in the United States of America? I think this might be the actual most difficult workout on a regular basis in the United States of America. I didn't even lift going in high school. I didn't even lift, not one time.
That's wild to me. You're thrown into that after, like, I know you said you kicked and everything in high school, but you joined the team basically for games. Like, the fact that you had nothing and then you get thrown into a Rich Rod team with Barwis as the strength coach, like, yeah, like you pretty much, they threw you in the toughest spot you probably could.
And I'll tell you what, right mindset, I always try to enjoy everything as much as possible. But boy, there were some days where I was like, I'm not supposed to be here. No way. And teammates, the tightness, whenever you go through that together, hard, when you go through hard together, it really does bring you, it brings you together. So I got faith in this West Virginia team. A lot of new faces, a lot of new bodies, but I think that soul is always going to be the same if Rich Rod is the coach. The Toxic Table is here at Boston Connor and at Ty Schmidt. Ty, are you a little bit worried, that coach is back in football in a big way? Listen to the way he speaks. Would you ever hear Kirk Ferentz talk like you're talking about polar opposite type of personalities, similar coaching styles, though? Do you believe?
Yeah. So you don't ever hear Kirk say anything like that in like the media, and he'll never really get. He doesn't give reporters really anything, but if you watch Kirk on the sidelines, like he still gets fiery. He'll still motherfuck an assistant coach or the referee. But I mean,
what's it like? Does this Ryan Day just won? Ryan Day seems like a pretty intense guy.
Yeah.
Seems like a pretty intense dude. I do wonder what his day-to-day is like, because I think you have to be, in our sport, I think you have to be pretty attention to detail. However,
you can't let anything slip. You can't let anything slip. And that goes as far as, like, your assistant coaches, too. Like, that's a big thing. Like, how you coach your assistants, they have to know the standard and what it is. And that's the thing. Like, it's exhausting to do that. Think about it. Rich Rod, that's exhausting to not let anything slip. Like, you could be walking by at any time, just see the tiniest thing, and if you want, even though it might seem tiny, we can't have that. Like, we have to change this.
Pick up the fucking straw wrapper, put it in the fucking trash can. Yeah, I don't know why I left it there. Yep, you're 100% right. Wasn't mine, I don't think, but
it's hard to explain that to young people sometimes. So as a young kid, it's easy to be like, well, what do you think? You think if 3rd and 2 is going to care if I threw my tape away today? Like, that's. But honestly, it's all connected. It does matter.
It doesn't show up till it shows up. That's like that is literally what it is. It doesn't show up till it shows up. And I don't want to point out what happened with the Colts last year with the fumble on the half-yard line and everything else like that. But it's like there were signs that things were not operating how winning teams operate. I'm not just pointing out one particular team. This happens throughout a year for a lot of teams. You see things that are happening. It's like how you do anything is how you do everything. If that's happening, what else is happening? And if you're seeing this now, is it going to show up in the biggest moment? Probably. Like that is normally how it all works out. And I I'm very pumped for college football to start today.
Yeah.
I'm starting to get very excited about it. Now, this also brings back college kickers. Let's be nice. Remember, it's not easy to kick. We showcase that every single weekend on College Game Day. Hard to kick.
Actually, with the kickers, cool story tonight with Nebraska. That punter,
Aussie,
who went viral for not seeing his family and everything. I guess they flew over like a bunch of his friends and his family.
Bunch of blokes.
Yeah, a bunch of the blokes are going to be there in Kansas City.
Good blokes coming over there.
Yeah.
I love to hear that. He also, one of the guys, he can kick with both feet. So I guess that was one of the storylines of the offseason. Young guy, 18 years old, which I appreciate. I like that he's 18, because there has been some situations where 30-year-olds are coming over, to colleges to kick, and 17-year-old Americans are obviously not going to get scholarships over 30-year-old ex-professional, full family, know how to be an adult, very consistent. Aussie, who I love, listen, it was an opportunity, you're allowed to take it and everything. I'm just saying that was happening there for a bit, so that was an interesting dynamic and a little bit of a change. But I think the Aussies have brought great things into punting, so I'm not judging. I'm just saying that was the situation I think it's happening right now again with Hawaii and everything like that. But I love that it's an opportunity and everything. But this kid, 18 years old, so he's committing life to this now, all the other guys, Aussie rules football players, great sport. Electrifying sport. Won all the Brisbane Lions. They just had their awards last night. Congrats to all the boys that won their AFL awards. New MVP was crowned. Toughest guy was crowned. Champion of all that stuff. But a lot of those guys were coming from Aussie rules football into American football to kick. So it's a little bit of an adjustment, different ball, different strategies. They're doing a lot of passing to each other. So they're very accurate, very good in control. They actually have a kick whenever they're growing up. So the way they punt the ball, obviously different than an American style. Him as an 18-year-old doing American football feels like he probably concentrate a little bit more on the American style, which is cool that we've gotten to that continent, because that's a very cool place. And I think they would like football a lot if it became bigger over there. They're going to try to take a game there. That's far away.
So good luck.
That's a far way. But a Nebraska kid, 18 years old, can go. I think he's.
So will he go? Do they know going into the punt if he's going right or left footed?
I would assume his team would know if he's 18. This is freshman year, so maybe rules giving him check. He can check as a freshman, and that would be insane if he could be hey, we're rolling right on this one, tapping his leg, making an adjustment out there. Maybe next year I would assume that would take place, or maybe throughout the year. But I would assume his team knows. The other team would not. But, I do have a little bit of a take on that. There's definitely a more dominant leg. And, this is kind of like the conversation. Do we want it like Shohei with pitching and hitting?
Yeah.
It's do we want to sacrifice the development of definitely a bombing leg, whichever one is the one, for mixed hits on the off leg? Because there's definitely going to be one leg that's stronger than the other. It's how much do you want to do that? Or do you use it as a curveball? Hey, this is...
Or it could just be your non-dominant could be an emergency situation. Hey, we dropped the snap, whatever. This guy's rushing all over. I got to kick this one left.
Exactly. So. You can have a fire situation, or you could use it as an advantage, because having probably 2 returners, so now you got only 9 up. So that takes a little bit of pressure off a lot of people. You can maybe run fakes off of it if you're able to go both directions. Probably not going to run a rush. Probably going to be a lot of stand if you guys go in both ways. So that is a weapon, I think. But I personally, I would not want to sacrifice the development of the one, because if he's going to make it, he's going to have a very, very, very dominant one. There's only 32 jobs, and it's I think he has the talent, all the talent in the world. I'm very excited to watch him. And once I learn more about his story, it's this is a guy. This is a real deal, and there's a lot of those.
And I think something to watch tonight, something Nebraska wants to do is just get the ball off. I believe they had 8 kicks blocked last season, which was one of, I think, the worst in college football. They brought in a new special teams coordinator, so I think they're just trying to get that ball off.
Yeah, and if you have a punter going both directions, you might take the heat off the blocks a little bit. That might save 8 blocks.
Yeah,
so many.
You weren't here. Did you hear the story about the Japanese field goal kicker from Hawaii?
No.
Okay, so he hit the game winner last week against Stanford. I think he's 24 or 25. He was introduced to American football, and then he learned how to kick by watching YouTube videos. Went to a JUCO, I think in Wisconsin or Minnesota, somewhere in the Midwest. Didn't want to go somewhere where anyone spoke Japanese because he wanted to learn the language. And then signs on with Hawaii, kicks a game winner.
That's a pure ball right there.
Yeah, learned how to kick from YouTube.
I love that.
Legend.
Yes.
That is magic. I mean, that's what technology and the advancements of everything, making the world smaller, really shines a light on how good things can be too. Sure. How would he ever be introduced to our sport or this opportunity? He hits a pure ball right there too. That's a huge moment there for Hawaii beating Stanford.
Yeah.
You hear the Stanford people talk. It's like, if we can't beat Hawaii, we're in trouble in this entire thing. Would love Hawaii to get back to be a great team. That's a pure ball in a massive moment. What is he? Freshman, sophomore?
Oh, that's a good question.
I think I saw like his second or third year of eligibility, but it's just like that kid who was racing. They made a movie about him. He was just like an online virtual racer, and then he became a real race car driver, and whatever, not Formula One, but with a Forza Motorsport, whatever the hell it is. He went from video gaming his entire rig in his house, and then he got signed to a team, and then he became a professional driver.
Kansei Matsuzawa is a senior. All right, so we know that. Previous school, Hawking College, high school.
It's in Ohio.
Makuhari Sogo High School. All right, well, good luck, brother. Hey, we love that story. Ball kicking positions, good entry point for our sport to a lot of countries. Rugby, Gaelic football, I think, even has some kicking in it. Obviously, soccer, Aussie rules football, union rugby, sevens rugby. There's a lot of different styles. Rugby league, I believe. I want to get them all right because they all have their own very passionate fan bases who think the other sport is not as good as theirs.
Sure.
A lot of rugby people saying, Aussie rules ain't the real sport, mate. You got to come down here, rugby. A lot of people have no respect for the other sport.
Okay.
It's like isn't rugby down there, New Zealand and Australia, isn't that?
Yes. The rugby NRL, I guess, is a massive ordeal down there.
Is one F1 and one of them's NASCAR? I know they have a rivalry.
So I think it's more regional, like hockey. You know how like there's hockey towns? I think there's like Aussie rules football is across the South. I think, if I remember from the conversation, more of the southern part of the continent has Aussie rules football, and then rugby kind of more so the middle and the top, I believe, if I was remembering the conversation I had after about 2 hours of sleep correctly, if I am all digesting it properly.
Sure.
But I went to one of those Aussie rules football games over there. It was electric. It was like a European soccer game. It was like, that was the vibe. Always up, always energy. There's action happening really far from us because the field's so far. People still engaged, drinking a little 4X.
The field as big as it looks.
I had about 15X. Field is huge. Field is absolutely gigantic. But the vibes were awesome. Posted about going to it, and I got a bunch of Aussie. I ain't sport, mate. Rugby, I don't even fucking follow.
That's why there might not be many fatsos in Australia, because the sports that they play there's really no
constant movement.
Yeah, there's no fatso positions in.
They got to run a lot, and these dudes are big too, and they're running a lot. You don't see a lot of like.
They're jacked.
Jacked, all of them, and all of them seemingly hilariously handsome. They got like some ridiculous look. Like they all. It's a cool sport. McCluggage. Yeah. He got named Australia, I think.
Yeah, I mean, he's a dog. I've been saying it for years now, since the pandemic, really. He's what got me into the Brisbane Lions.
I think it was episode 709, maybe like hour 40 minutes in, they played it.
Really?
Yeah, they played the clip.
So seriously? Yeah, that's awesome.
And then they said, the guy who was standing 2 feet in front of me, he goes, "That's Hugh McCluggage." And I was like, Hugh, dog.
Huge fan. We loved you.
It was a cool moment.
McCluggage.
Charlie Cameron, it was his 250th game. He had Country Roads as his song.
That's sweet.
Yeah, that was awesome. I guess there was some negativity about goal songs after goals. I guess this might be something new. I don't know. I was just trying to follow the social network response. And because I saw people saying, I saw one tweet that seemingly had a lot of attention that was like, for those who don't like the songs after goals or whatever, so this must be a new thing, listen to this in Brisbane. And it was the entire place singing Country Roads. It was fucking sick. I was so happy. I was sitting there just having a good old time. Charlie Cameron scores 250th. He was very nice to me at practice. It was nice to talk to him. What a talent. I think I remember watching him back whenever we were watching the entire thing. So then he scores. I'm like happy for him. I'm like, my dude. And then all of a sudden, starts playing. I'm like,
Country Road.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Holy fuck, man. And First Sergeant Gartland, who's also from Plumboro, Pittsburgh area, he also has had friends that have gone to West Virginia. He understood. And we just, holy shit, and the whole 35,000 plus just singing it. And that was a cool moment. It was electrifying in there. Brisbane gets a big win over the Hawthorn Hawks. I'll tell you what, they were not happy with the officials, which there were many. A lot of refs.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Figure 10.
Very large field.
I mean,
What kind of calls do they make? What kind of are there penalties? How's that work?
When the ball goes out, off of who, when's the throw, when's the start. I don't think I fully comprehend when what is happening, because every once in a while they'll just blow the whistle and the ball go to the other team, and it's like, well, that looks pretty standard. And then every once in a while they blow a whistle and there'd be people pissed. So I've been trying to figure out what people are pissed. Like, is that Hawthorne people that are mad about what just happened? And then 35, 45 seconds later, because there is, like in soccer, we've heard from the soccer players, when they're flopping around, it's not just like they're flopping around. It's also like, hey, take a breather, boys. We're running like 7 miles here. This is a little bit of a dramatic moment for us to have a timeout when we don't really have a timeout. Feels like that happens a little bit in Aussie rules. Whenever there's a catch and the whistle's blown and they got like 30 seconds, that thing was at 0 multiple times. 30-second countdown clock, 0, and this guy's halfway in his run-up still. It's like, okay, so this is a little bit of like the... Yeah, you can kind of... Let's get a little bit of a breather here. I'll tell you what, if they're off ball, they're really handsy. And by handsy, I mean...
Yeah, beating the shit out of each other.
Danny Zork. I think Danny Zork. They were calling him Zorks. I don't know if his last name was Zorks or not. It was his 300th game. 0.8% of Aussie Rules football players make it to 300 games. They were honoring this guy. They had 4X bottles with him on. They had T-shirts on. Signs outside were him. Right before the game starts. They're on the field. They're about to do the bounce and center. Half a second, maybe 2 seconds before the game starts, he's at one of the ends. Guy from the other team punches him in the throat. Right in his throat. He's fucking this. Literally, as
you can you do that?
I don't know. I don't know. And then the guy from the other team starts pushing him while he's doing they start pushing him it was this guy's night. Literally they're fucking doing the entire
Maybe
thing.
it's the badge of honor. Maybe it's like, hey, 300th game, we got to punch him.
Right before the game starts, the guy punched him right in the fucking throat. It was right in front of me because I saw it happen. I'm like, God, they're so cheeky behind. That is such a cheap move right there. But everybody just kind of does it, I think, from what we learned from watching. They're punching each other, getting up, and it's like, well, I'm going to get you next. And they do. And it's that's kind of how the game is played. Dude got punched right in the throat. It was his night.
And Zorko just kept going. That's why Zorko's the GOAT.
I think Zorko did take a moment, though.
It did take 5.
I would assume so. Swallowed Adam's apple.
I was like, holy, because I saw somebody get hit. They were so far away, I didn't know who it was. And then I was watching them for the first couple of minutes of the game, really struggle. And then he got closer. I was like, that's fucking Zorks. That's the guy we're honoring tonight. I guess he probably should have expected that. Oh, yeah, big celebration, huh?
Yeah.
Boom, just right to the throat. It was crazy.
That's going to hurt.
It was absolutely crazy. They had a guy on the other team. He was number 18. I forget his name. His first quarter, he was unbelievable. First quarter, it was clear that Brisbane just needed to stop this fucking guy.
Punch that guy in the throat.
This guy's fucking bingo. I'm like, how is this guy just allowed to just walk around right now? We are not checking this guy through the boards right. What do we? Yeah. Can we not help this? This guy took over the first quarter, and I had a couple Hawthorne Hawks fans around me. I'm like, is this the guy? Is this the greatest player of all time?
Was it Mabia Chul?
Chul, yeah, he came up through the Brisbane Academy. He's from Brisbane.
Oh,
then he goes to the Hawthorne Hawks.
Revenge game.
The Hawthorne Hawks fans tell me he's hit or miss. When he's on, he's the guy. When he's off, it's nothing. It's nothing. And he was on there for that first quarter. We didn't see him the next 3 quarters, though.
That's classic.
That's classic.
Classic. Yeah.
Brisbane Lions, though, I think they shut him down a little bit.
I mean, I assume the boys, once they saw the replay of Zorko getting punched in the throat and getting pushed over, they're like, no, not on Zorko's night.
Kai Lohman had 2 big goals. Kai Lohman had great mullet, great flow.
Nice.
He showed up at set the next day.
Oh, nice.
Scored 2 goals.
Nice.
You guys need another role here?
I'm sitting there in the middle of the entire scene. I look over. Good game last night, Kai. Proud of you, buddy.
Oh, Lohman's got good flow.
Great flow. A lot of moxie, too. When he showed up, everybody had to look. Geez, what the fuck is that?
Did the other Aussies who were working there say, holy fuck, there he is?
I'm fucking rugby, mate.
Oh, yeah.
That's where I learned the
beef. Okay.
Yeah, that's where I learned the entire thing.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of Aussies. There's extras. There was Aussie production people, audio people. Everybody basically was Aussie. It's a lot of people.
Yeah.
So they were so cool, man. The Aussie human is a good one. That's I think a genuinely good. Tough. I think they're all kind of tough. All seemingly have personality, and I don't think they're not about to fuck about much.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's very much
straight to it.
Yeah, the food, AJ. I'm still worried to eat. I'm like very worried that my entire inside's going to be destroyed.
I'm still very angry about that entire conversation, but that's okay.
Yeah, I didn't expect you to get riled up. Like
Dude,
that.
it is the
Then
thing.
he pointed out like that I should be mad. I'm like, I guess I should be. That I can't.
I was bummed out that we don't have that, but it didn't move me to anger.
Yeah, but it was very nice to just be able to go. I appreciate you kind of separating that.
Yeah, it did move me to anger, to clarify.
You sit down at a cafe in Brisbane. I don't know what it is everywhere. I'm just talking about Brisbane. And it's just like everything you're ordering is like the nicest quality of whatever. The coffee, the eggs, the bacon, the fucking potatoes, the sweet potato, everything. The granola, the acai, everything is just like...
Good, yeah.
Everything's like the freshest of quality.
Love that.
And the pizza, it's everything. We tried our best to feel like shit. Like we're going to go eat the fried stuff. And it turns out it was all healthy fried stuff because it's in a certain oil that is like healthier than everything else. And it's like, whoa, have we been doing it wrong? I'm not going to say that.
Sounds like it.
No.
We definitely
Sounds
have.
like it.
No, I'm not.
We won't
saying-
outwardly
What are
say
they cooking with?
No.
Ghee? Are they cooking with ghee?
I didn't ask enough. I was
Beef
certainly,
tallow?
I was certainly talking and trying to learn as many stories as possible, but I didn't catch the broth that they were cooking in.
Nah, I know Steak and Shake puts their new fries in
Yes,
that
they
beef
do.
tallow. I
'Cause
don't,
it's
I don't know
healthy.
how much they're doing that in Australia, but they might be.
I mean, there was fries over there.
Pretty good.
You know where they do lack? I will say, outside of Tim Tams, their sweets suck.
Okay.
Yeah, we went into sweets.
Another reason.
We're pumping really
everyone's fit.
Really good stuff. Yeah, I guess that is another.
Damn it!
Yeah.
See?
They can't win the sugar battle against us because we're cool with whatever going in there.
Yeah, that's what really stinks. And now I'm thinking about it in my head because I'm like trying to think of like what restaurants in India are the freshest. You know, what has the
Well,
best.
I think it's D-Bone's Kitchen.
Yeah, you're probably right.
You need to head to D-Bone's Kitchen. Last night, we got a life tip from D-Bone. We do hope these become a regular thing. Boy, society fucking needs it.
Yep.
Cooking tip, he says, if you don't know. Put frozen pizza in oven while it preheats to get a head start, of course, opposed to waiting for the oven to reach desired temperature. Hashtag life hack. Hashtag you're welcome, says D-Bone. Now, we all know what happened here because we are humans that exist in the same world as D-Bone. He sets the preheat, stands there for 30 seconds, says, I'm not fucking coming back here.
Yeah.
I'm putting it in now. And then I'm going to walk away. So a little bit too lazy to take another trip back to the oven, but also, in my mind, getting a head start.
That's right.
Getting a head start. And then whenever he gets it out of the oven, probably earlier than it's supposed to be, he actually likes it that way.
Yeah.
I like a little
softer.
I like a little soft.
Wasn't that he couldn't wait any longer?
Yeah, no, it wasn't that he was
Why
hungry.
did he get out early? Why does he have to get out so early?
Well, I think he just looked at it. Hey, look at the pepperoni shining. So let me go ahead and buy it. But the individual cheese slices didn't melt. So he's giving out life hacks on how most people do operate that, you know, maybe are a little bit lazier. I would consider myself one of these people. Whenever I saw this as a life hack, I thought to myself, is this the first time that he has made a frozen pizza? And then he assures us that no, this is a
And he's certainly right. That is not the first time he's made a frozen pizza. He was shocked when I told him, like, hey, I know you like it a little softer, like that crunch you've been getting. Like, you don't have to eat the cardboard underneath the pizza too. Like, if you can just eat the pizza on its own, it's not one piece.
Yeah, because it does come together.
It does.
Especially
It does.
if it's soggy on the bottom because
Right.
you put it in whenever it was 100 degrees.
Exactly.
And you only let it cook for however short a time.
Right.
You can see how he can confuse that.
Correct.
He folds it into the pizza and it's just cardboard folded in half. He's like, wow, cooked it good
Doesn't
today.
look right, but I mean, I guess.
Now,
Love D-Bone.
Okay.
Truly love D-Bone.
Feels like
This is the fattest fucking thing I've ever heard someone do.
What are you talking about? It's a life hack.
Respectfully, and I know it's a life hack. And the reason I think it's okay is because I am 40% sure now he used to just eat the frozen pizzas frozen. Just
So
suck
you
it
like
on.
that he at least heats them up a little bit.
I think he is taking steps. He's told us
It was
he
a
eats-
pizza popsicle that was round.
That's what I mean. Like, I think he used to just chomp on these fucking frozen pizzas like they were the, cookie ice creams, and he was just loving it. And now he's decided, I could fucking heat it up a little, and then I can eat the cardboard. Too.
He did tell us that he used to he'd eat just frozen hot dogs. Not kidding. This is no.
That's real.
I'm not ribbing.
Yeah.
He did say that. Like, I don't need to
straight face.
Sucking on him
and
like
frozen
jawbreakers.
Frozen crinkle fries.
He says all these things with such a straight face. You never know what's a work and what's a shoot. And we still don't, because he put out a tweet. Make sure to like and comment below if you guys want to see more cooking tips in the future.
Laugh emoji.
We don't know if it's a work or a shoot.
Yeah.
I don't think D-Bone knows, but we do know we need more life hacks from this young lad.
Without a doubt.
He's experienced a lot of life, so whenever he's chit-chatting about it, we need to listen.
Yeah, allegedly he's got a real good one with kill sock. I think he's doing it later as far as when he's going to unveil that life hack.
What's that?
A kill sock?
Yeah.
I'm still not sure. I'm waiting for him to explain it to me, but that is why I'm excited for it.
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds like this is something you do know.
I swear I don't.
The way you delivered it was as if it was something that...
A little bit. You got to know a little bit.
I think I made a few jokes back at the old office about all the kill socks around my own apartment, but I'm pretty sure...
Are those the super starchy ones?
Well, no, those are... See, I'm pretty sure I was using it in a different term than what D-Bone...
Are you talking about delivering seed to these things, boy?
That is what I think D-Bone is alleging, yes.
Foxy, is this what's happening in your department? What the hell is going on?
No, but I'm expecting chicken nuggets will be D-Bone's thing. That is my prediction.
You should put ketchup, think about this, with these
I don't even
chicken
think he would
nuggets.
even do that.
You're right. He's not.
I was just reminded of your growth, though. You just talking about that because you used to spit on your walls.
Yeah, exactly. It's just... just in the middle of my bedroom.
Forgot all of
The landlord was so happy. That house was the biggest shithole.
The landlord.
You guys should have been condemned out of that house.
I think it was.
If we're gonna get into this, the landlord was a piece of shit because half the time when I was sleeping in my room, all I heard was fucking mice under my bed running around.
Yeah, the pub was certainly dead long before you guys
He ended
moved
up
out of
kicking us out. I thought that was bullshit too.
Yeah, he saved your lives.
I drive by it every now and then, just
reminisce.
Say how you doing. Good to see you.
How you doing?
No, you're not.
Is it still standing?
Oh yeah, it's still standing.
Oh, yeah.
I mean the stop sign's still there too. That's what that. Look, I'm a pretty good painter. That's what that is. I went back and checked, and it looks just like that still.
That's Zito's old car.
That's Zito's Kia.
Okay.
Oh, that's the
There's
front porch
Pubcat.
with beer bottles?
Yeah.
Yeah. Smokes. There's no cigs.
And the football stop sign.
Oh, they're in that. Yeah, we were.
There's also a pea stain right there.
I do remember that football. Yeah, there is a little
Wait,
bit
is
of
this is a painting of you like looking out the window or staying on the
Yeah, it's
porch?
POV, dude.
Yeah, dude, this is where my bedroom was. There was nothing in the front hall, so I had to hang up 2 curtains, and I slept on.
Way to zoom out to zoom back in, Foxy. Really get the effect.
Well, I was going to get Connor, and then I was like, wait, we're talking about the painting.
Ken Burns effect on that. Yeah, that stop sign back there was a good display of strength for a football throw. It
was very fun doing that.
That was a good time. That place was disgustingly terrible, though.
So bad.
Yeah. All right, let's, before we get out of here, we got to cover the shit that we should cover because we're a sports show.
Hell yeah.
You know what time it is, AJ?
What time is it?
It's 2:38 Eastern. It's about to be 2:30 now.
Yep.
And it's the perfect time to do the news. Don't you think, H?
I think it is the perfect time.
Let's do the news. What have we not covered? Go ahead, Con.
Here we go. Start in Indianapolis, actually. Chris Ballard yesterday gave a speech kind of about Anthony Richardson after, making Danny Dimes, which I believe, you called him a dog earlier. I feel like Danny Doberman might have legs. But he gave a press conference about it. Here it is.
We knew it was going to be a little bit of a roller coaster. Absolutely. I mean, just his history in college. And so that's just part of the growth. No, sometimes you got to take a swing. We took a swing. And look, I'm not ready to say that we missed because I don't think we have yet. I think Anthony has a bright future. I believe that.
Okay, so he's chit-chatting about Anthony Richardson and the swing that they took on, and obviously Danny Dimes being named the starter. So Anthony is yet again relegated to a backup role. This is obviously following multiple years of injuries, not a lot of football, some magical moments that showcase a great athleticism, but then some moments that make you think this guy doesn't know ball. I'm intrigued by it all. Danny Doberman, a guy, these Colts got a shot. What are your expectations, AJ?
Honestly, the Danny Doberman, that might have a little bit of a ring to it. I'm not completely so. I think Danny Dimes could absolutely be a guy. I really do. I think he could have the whole, revitalize his career at Indy. But I guess the only thing we have that's not going in his favor is that they've tried this for the last 6-7 years with different quarterbacks and it just hasn't worked out yet. But maybe Danny Dimes can be the guy to turn it around. There's a lot A lot of people's jobs relying on this, don't you think?
It's been a long time of this whole thing.
7 years.
Quentin Nelson's entire career, basically, has just been revolving door.
He's out. He's bummed out.
He's been out a couple. Yeah, he's a couple quarterbacks bummed out ago. But hey, maybe this is the one.
Exactly.
Maybe this is the one.
I think it is.
And to Chris Ballard, I think so too, Tone. To Chris Ballard's point, Anthony Richardson is going to get an opportunity. We assume Danny Dimes is not going to be able to play all 17 games. There's a chance that Anthony Richardson plays, and if he plays good, who knows what the future looks like for him? But it's like understanding all of the, quarterbacks' roles, leadership, knowing what to do, checks, audibles, all that. You heard Chris Ballard in a press conference also talk about what Danny Dimes can do with the play, what he can do at the line, put us in the right position, put us in the right play. You heard that be said a couple times. And it's like, well, he's a veteran, so hopefully his experience will help him. And hopefully Anthony Richardson will be able to gain some experience by watching him. And hopefully this team that has a lot of talent on it. There's a lot of talent on this team. A lot of money been spent on this team. Maybe they're able to get a go. But the quarterback, conversation is certainly going to be loud throughout the entire season. And if it doesn't go well for the Colts, I think it's all going to look very different next year.
Yeah, I mean, that's the big thing is, hey, let's see it. Because if we don't see it, guess what? We're going to be seeing a whole lot of new faces in Indianapolis.
I think there is a chance that that's on the horizon.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know. Obviously, we haven't seen the three daughters as owners yet. We don't know exactly how they're going to operate. Everything that they do is setting a new precedent. But Carly Ursay at her press conference was like, we're not just trying to win games. We're trying to be the best. And everybody knows what the standard is. We have not lived up to that standard. They have the opportunity to still do as such. And it's like, that sounds like, hey, we need to roll here, or we're going to try to redo this. I'll be excited to see how it all plays out. But if it's another year of disappointment here, I think you got to, nobody likes to do that. But it's at some 7 years of just question marks. And then hey, we have a good team. We spent a lot of money. Well, actually, we don't because we don't have the one position that we need. We spent a 4th overall pick on a guy who's the most athletic guy maybe to ever come into the league. Well, he just can't figure it out. Golly, it's just a never-ending. Oh, no. And then Gardner Minshew almost leads the team to the playoffs. Yep. Shane Steichen's a genius. Anybody that Shane Steichen has is going to be successful. We'll bring in Flacco. He just brought the Browns to the playoffs. He doesn't do well. It's like, oh, no. What is wrong? I assume Ballard's asking the same questions. I assume he's wondering what the hell is going on. But there's a chance this year, as always with every year.
Looking at that schedule, that's a 4-2 start for sure for the Colts. You win a couple of those home games. You get the Dolphins, you get Tennessee, you get Vegas, and you get Arizona. That's a 4-2 football team.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Super positive. And the Dolphins, what was Stanford Steve's stat that he sent that makes Dolphins fans feel good?
Just Tua when he's healthy, they're good. Kind of what everybody knows,
No, I thought there was another one.
It had to be more complex.
There
than
was
that.
another stat.
Miami 5. I don't think so. I think that's what he sent me.
Had to be another stat.
There was some with a little more context. Gumpy read the thing and said, "Thanks, Stanford Steve."
That's definitely what happened.
Best win percentage last 2 seasons among all quarterbacks with 20 starts when Tua starts.
Mm-hmm.
That's good.
Yeah.
Best ever.
Best O-line he's probably ever had.
Are the Dolphins back?
Secondary has some questions. We signed some guys, but I'm quietly optimistic all of a sudden.
We'll find out week 1, won't we?
Yeah, it's been a long time since the Colts have won on week 1 as well.
Yeah, it's not really our thing, but coming down to a loud house, good luck.
We are underdogs.
That's Danny Doberman football.
Mm-hmm. Is Waller playing?
Waller said he is good to go, although he hasn't practiced or taken a snap.
He's a problem.
A-chain.
What's he doing if he hasn't practiced or taken a snap?
Just getting ready, getting back into football shape.
Okay. Will he be there week 1?
He'll be ready to go, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I mean, both those teams, they both need to win. That's what's kind of sweet about this year is that there's just teams it feels like that are on there. Hey, if this isn't the year, it's getting blown up. And instead of in past years where, I think last year was 8 new head coaches. And now this year it's like, hey, there could be 8 new head coaches. Because Arizona, you could throw them in.
Giants, Colts, Arizona.
Yep. Dolphins. There's 4 right there.
That are just like, hey, let's see. We're going to have to see it.
Yeah.
Or this shit's coming to an end. And that's just the nature of the beast.
I mean, you could argue LaFleur. After what Schneidman said yesterday.
Yeah, and Gutekunst.
And Gutekunst, yeah.
Yeah, Ed Policy's coming in and taking after Carmen Policy and saying, listen, there's a new sheriff in town, and it's me.
Yeah. That's 5 teams
Not
right there.
quite the same, but if the Cowboys have a really bad year, I could see them getting rid of Shoddy and reopening that up.
Yeah, similar to that, like the Titans. if the GM thinks he's, Cam Ward's a generational talent, and then, Callahan and them, they end up going, he looks like shit and everything, you could see the Titans maybe. I mean, after the Patriots did the one and done, and there's been other teams, but after they did the one and done last year, I feel like now it's possible for anyone just to say, fuck it, if the right guy's available.
Wild world. All right, let's do some more news. What else have we not talked about, Con Man?
A team that is not looking for a head coach would be the Detroit Lions. Last week, MCDC said, hey, look, this is the best team we've had top to bottom, which everyone kind of knew once they released Skipper, John Skip. But actually, what he got released.
Skip's back.
The way you
he's back on
Skip's back.
Skip's back.
I'm just saying, Skip. We all know Skip, even though we probably all shouldn't know Skip. So you know how much that means to MCDC. So I figured, look, if they feel good enough to release him, probably have some good players. But they did mention, MCDC said, hey, look, there's a chance Penei Sewell could play tight end. Fox, could you run that video, please?
There is nothing he can't do. I've said this before. If we just made him a tight end, I think he'd be a Hall of Fame tight end.
It's crazy.
I mean, he is a freakish athlete, just nimble, athletic.
Is there one thing over, a couple years with him that you're like, damn, only he can do that?
Well, I would answer only he can do everything.
Yeah,
and that's probably would be my answer. There is no limitation on him. Like there's things, whether it's the screen game, it's the run game, as you talk about, the one-on-ones, turn the whole protection, just let him go one-on-one, jumbo, make him a jumbo tight end, let him throw, hand him a reverse. And it's one of those things. It's no different than you do with, like we do with our person. Man, we got St. Brown, you got JMO, you got Gibbs, but like he's very much a part of that. Like he allows us to do so much schematically.
Yeah.
That's really, he's part of this secret sauce, man. We can do a lot. We can do the G. We can do the wide zone scheme. We can do gap. We can do the pin and pull. We can do crack tosses. I mean, and that's really because of him.
And you usually get a front row seat of seeing him speed bump a DB.
Oh, my God, it's fast. Yeah, because you're not going to maneuver out of his way.
What was that? Was that a bug on the windshield?
A few moments later.
I think you caught the ball on like the right sideline last year, and you were like making moves like for real.
So, yeah, that one was against Chicago.
I
was supposed to throw it, but...
You're not stepping out of bounds.
No, I told Coach, I was like, this is the only time I get the ball, so...
I'm going to keep it as long as...
I know you guys want me to throw it away, but I'm going to try to make some. So,
Shout out to the Green Light Podcast. Chris Long, obviously Super Bowl champion multiple time, getting great interviews up there in Detroit. I love how much MCDC openly loves his player. Now, that was the first draft pick of this era, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all I could think of that entire time is when Penny's deal is up. Like, he just said our entire offense goes because of this guy. So they're just going to have to pay him the most that's ever been paid and just $1 million more than the most that's ever been paid. And let's just move on because of that glowing endorsement. And who knows how Penny will handle all that. But what a perfect first draft pick whenever you're trying to set a culture, AJ. It sounds like they got it right up there.
Oh, they definitely got it right. And just listen to Dan Campbell say he can legit do everything. Like, how many offensive linemen that are that big can move like that? I think people, like casual fans, will be surprised to see how athletic some of these big dudes really are. Most of them in the NFL, a lot of D linemen played running back in high school, were on the 4x1 track team. Like, they did all kinds of stuff. They're much more athletic than people think. But Penei Sewell is like a different level to that. Like, how would you cover him? Like, what do you do?
What's the one thing he does that you think nobody else can do that? Well, I'd answer that by saying everything. He can do everything. That was a great answer by MCDC. In the moment, brain always firing. That is tough to account for. That's tough to account for when you got a 360-pound guy. Foxy, you guys love him up there? Is there
Absolutely love him. Fan favorite. He was one of the pillar pieces that changed this whole thing. Like you said, our first draft pick, and then in that same class was St. Brown. They did pay both those guys already, made St. Brown the highest paid wide receiver at that time at the Detroit draft right before it, and then same with Sewell, highest paid lineman. And to your point, they're just going to have to pay him again, make him the highest paid people. But that same draft class is where Micah Parsons was picked as well. And it feels like that was so long ago that they paid those guys, and we're still dealing with this Micah Parsons shit.
Sewell's on the second year of his new deal.
And he was drafted the same year as Micah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And you hear how Jerry's talking about Micah, and you hear how MCDC's talking about Penny. It's like
exactly
one really, really, really loves each other. One seemingly perfect draft pick.
Yeah, and that's why it's like the Lions are the one team that are in prime position to screw over Jerry even more. Like, they should pay Hutch right now.
Yeah.
And then see what happens with Micah in Dallas. Because if they play Hutch before Micah, I mean, that could actually blow the whole thing up. The only thing is that it could come back and fuck them, because then Jerry will say, oh, okay, and send him to Green Bay so that they have to play against him twice a year.
I kind of like that scenario.
You like Detroit pissing off Jerry?
Yeah.
So Jerry's saying, NFC North, huh?
Oh, really?
Okay. Well, congratulations.
All right.
I watched the first 3 minutes of that documentary. Tone Diggs basically forced me to watch it. He goes, you need to watch the Cowboys win. They're calling it the best sports documentary of all time, brother.
Awesome. I mean, when you have Michael, like I've talked about Michael Irvin and all the personalities, like those guys know how to tell a story. And they did a great job editing everything together. I thought it was great.
Yeah, just the first 3 minutes. Him talking about, how much production he had with the oil business, because it's gambling, and only the Lord knows what's down there. You're going miles down into earth, and only God knows what's down there, so you got to get lucky. And he said something about his mouth could get him more borrowed money than he could make. He was $50 million in debt. His wife was calling his father-in-law, wondering about how he's going to make it. Is this guy going to be okay? He thought he was going to die. Then one rig came along, $800,000. It was as soon as it went in there, it coughed a little bit. It is a living spirit. It breathed.
It spit like a mammal.
Yeah, it spit like a mammal. And then I heard it start to hiss, and that thing was screaming. Whew, I made $100 million off that one rig. What a moment.
Said, Jerry, you just bought the Dallas Cowboys.
I knew exactly what I wanted to do with that money. Good for him.
Dude, there's a bunch of that. The best part, the reason people, I think, at least, are saying it's the greatest documentary of all time is just because all of the interviews. Like, that was the toughest part about the SEC show, is that the characters that kept popping up in that show weren't the main characters of what we were talking about. Like, when Michael Irvin and Troy Aikman and Dahn and Jerry and Jimmy Johnson are the ones that are basically the whole show. I mean, Charles Haley, he comes in for sure during it. They tell a great story about how when he wanted more money, he walked into Jerry's office, pulled his dick out, and pissed on the GM's desk, and then left, and then he got paid. So a lot of people are saying do that, Micah. But just the entire kind of backstory with Jerry is this. Charles Haley walked into Jerry Jones' office.
Oh, yeah.
You'll get there. Walked into Jerry Jones' office, stood on the desk, took his dick out, took a piss, left, got a new deal. But actually now
wasn't
that
happy.
Now that
I kind of like what he did.
I like that.
What if there was like a 4-minute piss too?
It was how he got out of San Francisco. It's how he got to the Cowboys.
That's what I was about to say.
He did that in San Francisco, then got traded to the Cowboys.
Oh,
yeah,
it wasn't Jerry's.
I forget if it was a San Fran situation, yeah. But that's how he got out, and then Micah could do that, maybe. Charles Haley is a very unique human being.
Company's
definitely
watched the doc twice.
Yeah, definitely want to listen.
It's awesome.
It's so good, man. I started again, and like you said, that clip at the start just pulled me back in. I was like, fuck it. I'm watching this all
Run
over
it
again.
back.
It's so good, man.
All right, I can't wait to watch.
Because it's a lot about that Niners team, too, with like Jerry Rice and Steve Young as well. It tells their story a lot
Carmy
as well.
policy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Ed's fodder.
Ed's fodder.
I was unaware of the entire Jimmy Johnson stuff. And if that happened nowadays, people would lose their minds.
Yeah, the
Get
beef.
fired after
2 Super Bowl
Yeah.
wins.
Yeah, and then
That story's incredible.
yeah,
Fighting with the owner fighting with the owner the week of the Super Bowl, like in the media too, like both of them saying things about each other. Like it's a weird time.
they had that moment at the Hall of Fame. Was that 2 years ago?
Yeah.
Where Troy Aikman was kind of
They're back.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
mediator.
It's cool how they're back now finally.
Yeah, that was. I don't think until that day did I realize that it was as big as it was, and then you could tell Troy was like, "This isn't a TV show. We finally got these two at the same table.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, can we potentially do this entire thing? Big hugs. We did a lot together.
Because the players were mad too. They loved Jimmy, and they were pissed off at Jerry for doing that.
Yeah, like it makes a lot of sense now because Troy and Jimmy benched Troy for Berline, and that's when after that season, Jimmy and Troy became like very close because then Jimmy realized like, oh, Troy is also as competitive as I am, and that's kind of when they became like a team. Because Jimmy Johnson talks about how one time a guy came off the field and he cut him on the spot during a game, and he said a lot of guys say releasing players is the hardest part of the job. Not for me. I don't care. And
Jimmy Johnson.
Yeah. It's that good. It's that candid. Like Jerry Jones talking about when he was suing the NFL and the owners asked him to leave while they talked about him is very, very definitely another top.
I can't wait to watch it. I'm going to do that.
And then Barry Switzer comes in.
Yeah.
And he doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, Switzer's the star. I think he's the best character. Jerry's the star, obviously, but Barry Switzer is fucking hilarious.
Lightning rod.
Yeah. He did not care about anything, but all the players loved him.
Normally goes hand in hand. As long as you're as authentic as you are, like genuine, I think you're in a good spot. If you're fake, players hate you. That's like the biggest thing. If you are who you are all the time, players like Rich Rod here, like we're talking about it. He was always like that. So it's like when you leave, you have a love for that and appreciation and respect.
Respect it too.
Yeah.
Like you can't just be a dick and not be respected. Like it's one thing to be a dick if you're a coach that's like the hard driving dictator type coach, and guys don't respect you, it's never going to work. Like they have to respect you as a man and as a coach.
That's part of the whole thing. I was asked. No, I got a good story, but I'll save it for later. It's a good story. We'll save it for later.
Okay.
From set, it was a good story. You know, because am I a method actor or not?
Time will tell.
Can't wait to find out.
There's a lot of dudes.
Daniel Day-Lewis.
So much like in real life at boot camp, I would assume. Anytime the drill instructor is doing his thing, like the recruits are all thinking, like, can we beat him up? You know, like if push came to shove, could we beat him up? Drill instructor needs to let everybody know they can't. Like that is, you cannot. You would never be able to. Don't even fucking think it. Natural human instinct, though, whenever you're getting yelled at by somebody, especially if you're trying to be a Marine, you probably have a little bit of a dog mentality. Your natural thought is, I could beat the fuck out of this guy if I wanted to, especially with what's happening. That happened on set. The actors started wondering, like, if they could fight me. And I was like, this is good. This is exactly how it's supposed to be. You know, like you are supposed to feel it. And also, no, I would beat the fuck out of you. Okay, that is, it was like a cool, it felt like a real life, you know, like it really did. Because there was like, there's like boot camp, there's a fight scene in there. And the drill instructor is telling them to fight each other. And like, you're going to have to fight. Like this is so for some of these guys, it's their first ever fight. You know, so like that's kind of the whole thing. And it's like, this really happened. This was real life that was taking place. Like, hey, in 6 weeks from now, you're not just going to be here fighting somebody. This is knives, like we are.
Killing somebody.
Hand-to-hand combat is happening. So like you need to get punched in the face. Okay, that has to happen. You have to feel what this is like, but also you have to be able to. So there's a lot. That was a very intense day, I will say. And the things that I was saying to said actors, you know, in the moment to get them, you know, motivated to go. It was funny, just like in between takes, you know, like they come up to me. Do you think any of us could fight you and win? No, absolutely not. And then First Sergeant Gartland's like, none of you. He's like, because he's been a actual drill instructor. And it's like, that was like a real life moment. Like definitely, like I could see that happening very easily. And I like laughed because I got along with all those dudes afterwards, but it's like on the set, it's like these dudes probably did. We're like, fuck this guy. Like this is, it was like a Stanford
prison experiment.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. It felt like that in the middle of it.
David's
and I
favorite
was,
movie.
you know, fucking, I was acting as such. We have an update here from Adam Schefter. Several teams have spoken to the Dallas Cowboys about a potential Micah Parsons trade. And for the first time, the Cowboys appear willing to at least listen. Sources tell Todd Archer and damn Aussie Ono.
Wow.
And Adam Schefter. Wow. So Ty Schmidt said yesterday, he said there's an offer on the table and Jerry Jones just isn't ready to listen to it yet. Here we are about 26 hours later, and now allegedly Cowboys are willing to listen. Ty, is that a zipper burn over there?
Well, I'm not going to get ahead of myself. Not yet. I kind of have talked this into my head into thinking like, hey, listen, Micah Parsons is going to be playing for the Packers week 1 against the Lions at home. It's going to happen. It's already a done deal. So now if this is like open bidding, like don't pussyfoot this around. Go do exactly what I said. 45, 50, 55, 60, whatever it takes. 2 first-round picks, 3 first-round picks, 4 first-round picks.
What?
Maybe a couple second-round picks.
What?
You're just saying everything.
Maybe a couple defensive starters.
What?
Maybe a guy like Quay Walker.
Ooh.
add him in there.
Okay, now you're shipping people out of town.
Well, they did. That's what one of the things Rap Sheet thought that they might want a starter as well. So like,
there's an update here. Schefter tweets: the Cowboys would like to resolve the situation one way or another in the coming days with their season opener next Thursday against the Eagles, and the Cowboys hold their first full practice in preparation for the Eagles tomorrow. And, he's getting a second opinion if you believe the photo from the airport, which who knows when that photo's from, but everybody's saying it is him getting a second opinion, leaving town, yada, yada, yada. Joining us now, ladies and gentlemen, the man that broke that news, Adam Schefter.
Yeah, Shefty.
Shefty, how you doing, brother?
What's going on, guys?
Reading your tweets as you're tweeting them. Micah update, obviously big deal. Jerry said in an interview, I believe with Stephen A. Smith, don't listen to all the trade BS. I'm not with it. Then people were reporting that he wasn't even picking up the phone. There was allegedly a Packers trade kind of already created, but Dallas wouldn't listen. Now you're saying they're listening. Is this brand new news? And how quickly could this possibly come together?
It's complicated because what would have to happen here is that another team would have to present a contract compelling enough to Micah to make him want to take it, at which point that team then would have to go to Dallas to work out compensation. And I don't think they're at that level right now. They're just not there.
Other teams or Dallas?
I don't think the conversations with other teams and Micah and his agent are there yet. And so it's complicated. Like I said, there's a lot of layers that have to happen. A lot of, there's a certain order that has to be followed here. And here's the bottom line, though, Pat. And the reason the story's out there is the Cowboys have heard from multiple suitors. There are multiple teams, that are interested in trying to work out a trade for Micah Parsons. And the Cowboys, at the very least, appear like they're willing to listen. And it certainly sounds like they want to get this resolved in the next few days. They practice tomorrow for the first time for Thursday night's opener against the Philadelphia Eagles. Obviously, unless there's a new deal for Micah, it's hard to imagine that he's going to be playing in that game on Thursday night. He was in California yesterday getting a second opinion for his back tightness. He hasn't practiced all summer. He's not going to practice tomorrow. So how short of him getting a deal done with the Cowboys is he going to be out there a week from tonight for that opener? I don't see that. Now, if they somehow work out a deal, I'm sure his back tightness would feel dramatically better very quickly.
We don't know what the second doctor obviously said, the second opinion. And also, I got back tightness. Let me hop on a commercial plane, fly to L.A., and maybe get a second look at it. We hope his back is obviously healthy. He is an electrifying football player. You talked about other teams having to deal with Micah and Mulugeta first for a long-term contract before going to the Dallas Cowboys to negotiate what a trade would look like. Have the Dallas Cowboys and Mulugeta done any negotiating? And how often are those conversations taking place fluidly throughout the year?
I'm glad you asked that question, Pat, because I think it's a key part of this. And basically what I've learned is that since Jerry Jones had what he thought was an agreement for a deal that averaged $40.5 million a year, 5-year deal, 40.5. That was the agreement that Jerry Jones thought he had with Micah Parsons. We know what happened after that. Jerry came out at the owners' meeting, said that they didn't need an agent to get the deal done. Micah Parsons came out and said, if we're doing a deal, you're going to be doing it with my agent, David Mulugeta. And since then, there have been 0 conversations about a new contract. To right now, 0 conversations regarding a new deal, no new offers, no new anything.
Okay, so let me clarify. Can I clarify quickly? You said that Jerry believes that he and Micah made an agreement over a handshake deal or whatever for $40.5 million a year for 5 years?
5-year deal, correct.
So what's that, 200 and...
here's what I don't know. He had a year left on the deal, and I think it might have been 5 more at 40.5. So... it seems like, I don't know whether that included the 1 year or not. That's why I don't want to give that total number. I want to be clear. I know that the new deal that Jerry thought they had an agreement on averaged $40.5 million a year.
Okay, that feels like a big piece of information. What did TJ send for? 41?
Yeah.
41 million a year.
But that
was before TJ.
It was before.
But that was agreed to. That, in Jerry's eyes, that was agreed to way before TJ Watt had his deal with Pittsburgh. And at that time, the 40.5 would have made Micah Parsons the highest paid non-quarterback in NFL
So
history.
how come they didn't move at that moment if they had an agreement? What does Jerry say about why they didn't move afterwards? Because I think
again, the agent wasn't included, and so Jerry felt like he had a handshake agreement with Micah. We've heard him talk about the fact that when he bought the Dallas Cowboys, he had a handshake agreement. Nothing was on paper, nothing was written down, and he shook the guy's hand. They looked each other in the eye and said, "We have a deal." Jerry felt like that was the case this time. Micah went back, and obviously that wasn't the case. Micah's like, "Hey, you got to talk to my agent to get the deal done." From afar, my analysis of it is when David Mulgeta hears about a 5-year deal, when he did a 3-year deal for Derek Stingley, an agent doesn't want his young, talented pass rusher tied down in the prime of his career for 5 years. So even though Micah might have been shaking his head and saying, okay, Jerry, that sounds great, or whatever it is that he said, the agent that's why you have an agent, to let you do responsible things, right? That's why the agent is representing your interests. Micah is a 25, 26-year-old young man, and he's an incredible football player. But the truth of the matter is, his agent is probably better equipped to be handling the length of his contract and the details of his contract than Micah is.
Certainly,
and that's
Mulgeta too. Yeah, Mulgeta's the one. He's actually the one that started an entire collusion case, and I mean, he is a great negotiator. Will get every single cent that's out there, and for his high-profile clients, which he has many. That's all fascinating information. I didn't know it was 40 and a half for 5 years there. I just found that out right now. Thank you for that piece of information. So that means other teams would have to go probably 3-year deal at $42 million now, because that's what TJ Watt's at 41.
Hey. Yeah, it could be anything. Like, you want Micah to come to your city, you're going to have to offer some money and be like, okay, here's 42. We'll use your number, Pat. 43, 44. What's the difference? Get to that number, 42, 43, 44, right? So you want to convince him, hey, Micah, we want you here. We're going to be willing to pay you this amount of money. Okay, you in? I'm in. Let's get this done. Now it's up to that team to go to Dallas to work out the trade agreement, but the Cowboys have had conversations, from what I understand, with multiple teams.
Okay, so this is what it would look like, Ty.
Okay.
Potentially.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's not wearing 23, but, okay, sure. That
20.
That was his high school number.
Like Jordan, dude.
T-Bone said that was his high school number.
Oh, okay.
11's taken.
11's taken.
Looks sweet.
You know what? You can wear 99. Or 98 or 90. He's going to be in the 90s.
Schefter, Ty wants him to give him $45 million a year. Fuck it. Send 3 first-rounders down there to Dallas. Whatever it needs to get him to Green Bay. That is where you're at right now.
Yes, without a doubt. Now that it's a possibility that it could happen, without a doubt. That'll take me from, hey, Packers are going to go to the playoffs this year, have a nice little season, maybe make a run to the NFC Championship, to they're winning the whole fucking thing this year. That's what we're doing here. Jordan Love's agent just happens to be David Mulgeta as well. So,
we got pretty good relationships.
Yeah, exactly. Let's just say he might know Micah. Maybe he's talking to Micah right now. Maybe they're,
You think Jordan Love's recruiting right now?
I think he might be.
And Jerry refuses to talk to David, right?
Well, at the time, I'm not talking to Jay-Z ever again.
They have not had any contact since that time.
So how the hell is he going to go back?
Yeah, we don't know. This is all such a shit show.
Are they just is Jerry and Mulgeta they're waiting for someone to reach out, or what? I lost a light here.
What the
I don't know what happened. Trying to figure out what's going on.
You go ahead, AJ.
They need a marriage counselor. They need somebody, a mediator, to step in and say.
Are they just waiting for someone to reach out? Like, is either one say, "Hey, I'm not going to be the first."
He'll call.
Text or call. Is that what's going on?
You lose leverage. You become desperate. You're the one that reaches out. Everybody knows
that's it. That's what it feels like right now. Like, again, no conversations. Season opens a week from tonight. Micah still is in practice. He was in California with a back specialist, and the Cowboys are talking to multiple teams. Like, there's plenty to talk about here.
Yes,
and we'll see how it works out.
Yes.
I will also point out to you. I really don't know how this is going to work itself out. There are people who still believe in the end Jerry is going to step in from outside teams, that Jerry's going to step in and overpay on Micah the way he overpaid on Zeke and CD and Dak. They believe he'll do that. There are people within the organization who think that Jerry is very upset and that this is his Waterloo and he's not going to budge. And so I don't know what's right and what's wrong. I just know that we're entering a time where it's Labor Day weekend. The Cowboys play Thursday night. And if I go back to the last time there was an issue a little bit like this, Khalil Mack was traded on the Saturday of Labor Day weekend.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. Get him out of here, they said. He's a problem. Guy would go and have like 8 more years afterwards. Micah could go become a legend somewhere. He said multiple suitors, though. What if the Packers don't get him? What if another team gets him? What if the Minnesota Vikings make a run and get him?
Well, they got, you know what? Then they're going to have to get rid of Van Ginkel. And we'll see, you know, what Vikings fans feel about that.
Do you know what other teams other than Green Bay? Do we know Green Bay?
I think we think Green Bay. I think we think Green Bay is one of teams that have inquired.
How many?
But I was told, again, that there are, quote-unquote, multiple suitors. Multiple.
2 to 30.
Yeah, multiple is a lot. And everybody's going to be like, Micah available? Yeah, what's it going to take? All right, we ain't got that.
Yeah.
That's crazy, though. All right, good luck.
Every team's going to have that thought, though.
Micah with
like,
TJ?
as a fan, you go from making the playoffs to winning the Super Bowl.
All right, Shefty, we appreciate you. Have a great football season. We'll see you soon. Ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, buddy. You look great, AJ. No shadows at all.
Got a little, one of my lights just actually didn't turn off, just got a little dim on me.
Axel eating it?
Traitor. It's a loaf.
It's a traitor.
On the wires.
It's a loaf. Axel could be out there gnawing on that thing. All right, tomorrow's a big day. Let's enjoy it. Tonight, big games. Let's enjoy them. I got Nebraska and Boise State covered.
Okay.
I got both the favorites. I don't love that that's how I'm starting the year.
Why don't you take the Bulls?
No, that seems to be very trendy. Seems very trendy. Everybody talking about USF being a problem. I'm like, all right, I believe in Boise State, I think, all of a sudden. And that's nothing against USF. I'm just saying, feels like a lot of people are saying, whoa. It's like anytime that happens, it's like, well, Boise State's hearing that as well. They're going to wake up for that. And then Nebraska, I got faith in Raiola. I like him.
Damn rule.
Came to a WWE event. Guy's got moxie. E-Money, too, Emmett, the running back. We got a little bit of cook. Now, Travis Kelce being in the building for Cincinnati
that's big.
Is works.
Huge.
AJ, who do you like?
I like USF and I like Nebraska here.
All right. Boys?
All chalk.
We're in this thing together. Never forget it. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice that might change their life. I appreciate you all so much. College football, for real, is here. We did it.
Boom!
AJ, I can't wait to see you in Ohio tomorrow, brother.
Oh, yeah, it'll be a great day. I think the weather's going to be a perfect little fall day for us.
Yes.
Love that.
Perfect.
Team on me, team on 3. 1, 2, 3, team. Goodbye.